What's up, everyone? Assume the position and get ready for the Three Dudes podcast.
You're about to enter the no spin zone.
Oh God!
That's true because we're not sitting in swivel chairs. We literally can't spin.
I mean, we can. It's just going to be real slow.
Yeah.
We need swivel chairs.
We do need swivel chairs. Hey, we have a guest this week.
We do.
Hey, this is my buddy Tyler from work. Everybody say hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Man,
thank you for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
yeah, seriously, you've been like subbed to us from like since almost the beginning of this show.
Probably for a couple episodes in, yeah.
Yeah.
I was verbally berated into doing it by Brady over there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And
I'm really glad you came on.
no, I was really excited to do it too and get hammered and talk about shit with you guys.
Right.
Oh yeah, get real drunk and then go to work.
Riggedy wrecked.
Wrecked, son. All right.
Well, I was very excited to hear that you were going to be coming on the show because I think I've got a pretty good topic today. I think it's going to turn out to be a lot.
Yeah, you've been talking this up.
I think
so.
it's gonna be pretty fun. I just hope I haven't talked it up too much, but of
It
course,
is laundry soap.
and the various culinary preparations thereof.
Little plastic dinosaurs and why we love them.
But of course, we can't just go right to the topic. That would be silly.
That would be
Yeah, let's not-
fucking stupid.
We would be remiss to avoid addressing the fact that we are fucked.
Yes.
fuck.
We are
big
indeed.
time.
Absolutely. Why are we fucked, Chris?
We are fucked this week because of, I'm going to put this in quotes because that's not really what this is. I'm going to call
He
this
holds his hands up.
penis envy. We are fucked this week because of,
So not Freud's penis, envy, not the one that girls allegedly
I
experience.
don't envy Freud's penis at all.
no, it was probably weird. It probably looked like a weird plantain.
I bet it had its own mustache.
Well, hello there.
I bet his penis was also a hack.
I bet his penis also smokes cigars somehow.
His penis was also addicted
Somehow.
to opium.
He used the left testicle to hold the cigars.
It just brings it up slowly.
Hi, I'm Freud's penis.
Hi, I'm Mandy Moore. And I'm Sigmund Freud's penis.
And we're here to raise awareness about urethral cancer.
I thought you were going to say, and welcome to Jackass.
That would have been much funnier. I'm sorry I didn't do that.
But no, we're fucked today because I experienced something that I haven't experienced in a pretty good long while, and that was genuine jealousy.
Oh.
And it happened just earlier today. I went to the bank. I had to get quarters for the laundry room. And this guy was following me up, around the corner from the bank and then into the bank's parking lot. And he had maybe the most beautiful truck I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was
Wait, I want to know how this relates to penis envy. I'm
Well,
really excited.
that's why it's in quotes. It's not real penis envy. It's just like envy of another guy who has something bigger and prettier than you do.
Yeah. His truck is an extension of his dick.
Of his
Right.
dick.
Keeping up
But isn't it
up with
supposed
the
to be
Joneses.
inverse?
Yeah.
What's that?
Is this supposed to be inverse?
His dick is
bigger
an
truck,
extension.
smaller dick.
That's
Smaller
right.
truck, bigger dick.
Well,
It has to equal out to a regular dick somehow.
Now I will say this:
equal.
he was a shorter gentleman, so maybe maybe he is overcompensating for
a
something.
little,
I don't know.
a little gentleman.
I always disagreed with that statement because maybe his dick is down to the floor and he just needs more
Right.
space for it.
What, like he's riding in a very tall truck because his penis is rolling around there in the cabin.
Right. It's got to be a
fling
very-
this thing over my shoulder whenever I drive. It's really annoying.
Right. That's why you get the crew cab.
Yeah.
Sits in the back seat.
It argues.
It sits.
It argues with me driving.
Begs for McDonald's.
No, but he had, and it was a Ford. It was like F-250 size. It was like a Ford F-250 Raptor.
Yeah.
And it was red, and it had the intake hood, like the dual intake hood, where, you know what I mean? So you
Yes.
could get extra air.
Those are fucking cool.
Yeah, they're really fucking cool. It's like it looked like the 6-liter V8, like the big one. And it was red. It was like this red. And it was just with a little bit of like a flecked paint sheen on it.
Like
and I was
bright
like,
Solo Cup red.
and I kept thinking like, man, that that is incredible, and I really want it. Almost to the point where I did the weirdest thing and almost told him that I really liked his truck, but I realized how creepy that was going to be in line at the bank.
Hey,
Hey man, I really like your truck.
I just wanted to say your truck's really pretty.
Excuse me, sir. I just want to let you know that you have a really impressive looking 4x4 vehicle there.
I'd like to take a ride in it.
Your truck is so good. I bet it's probably for the extra room for your penis. Huh?
Okay, you just took it like from like maybe a 3 on creepy to like an 18
We took it
on
up.
creepy.
Yeah.
That's the show, an 18 on creepy.
An 18 on creepy.
More
the
like a
pretty
16
promise.
on creepy.
Yeah.
As if we're being honest
Yeah.
here. But no, I was very envious. And that's like genuine envy is something I haven't felt in quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I guess the rest of us aren't fucked, but I personally am fucked because I thought that part of my life was done for.
Nope. It's never over.
Yeah.
It's never over.
Some form of envy, I think everybody is guilty of
Yeah.
that. Like, I am envious of everyone who can see. But for those of you who don't know me, I am legally blind. I can barely see to do a lot of things. So,
Yeah, sight.
But you don't
to
need
be
to-
envied, I'm sure.
Not to, you know, you don't need to see to drink though.
That's true. I mean, you only need an open mouth.
That's right.
God.
If you were a mute, that would be harder. Because what? I don't know.
what's it taste like?
Yeah.
Turn into Kenny over there.
Wow,
Or
that
one of
sounds
the
like,
monster things from Rick and Morty, apparently.
that's a 4-star review. It sounded like to me.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks.
But yeah, that's why I'm fucked. I'm fucked because I'm still. I have penis envy for things that I don't have.
Yeah, makes sense.
I want
Makes
it. I
sense.
want to drink it.
Do you want to do that before we do the next one?
Well,
then?
yeah,
So you guys
why don't we stop and do this? Just
Okay,
do this.
so you
We
guys
got
can actually have
beau-
this.
We got this beautiful wine in front of us, and we're all eye
Everyone's-
fucking it.
Yeah, it's a
fucked the shit
wonderful
out of me.
golden color.
Yeah,
It's
give us the proper the elevator pitch for this wine.
Oh God. So this is the Dead Tree wine. That's a honey wine made by myself and a few of my friends. We are under the name Fluffy Bunny Brew Works, and and that has a naming joke in the history of itself. But this wine here is a 15-point-something%. I don't exactly remember it, but this was the first wine, honey wine, that we ever did.
God, it smells
and
so good.
It
I haven't given this a whiff
this
yet.
It smells
This,
like Mott's cinnamon applesauce.
it has it does have cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
and it's got like we got 5 pounds of honey and we put it and we separated it and we made this first, and then there were other ones that came after, and they all followed this same similar art style that's on the bottle.
Nice.
Which, for those of you who are at home or listening to this, we kind of did it as professionally looking as possible.
I think it looks
and,
great.
Yeah.
We like waxed it up the top and corked it and everything. And we've always tried to follow that standard of trying to like make it look as professional as possible.
Yeah.
And taste as professional as possible too. Like I was telling you when I was down here that for one of the earlier beers that we did for a while, it was called
Morty.
It was Berserker was the beer that we had made, and we entered it into the National Homebrewers competition, and we took 3rd place in the city of Chicago.
That's so
and
cool.
in our district.
Sweet.
That's
we
so
went on
fucking
to
cool.
we went on to nationals, but because of the beer that we had made it with. Or made it in the style, it didn't have a category, so there were 960 other applicants when there were normally 20 or 30 in all the other categories. So ours was a non-categorized area where it's like a catch-all for everything. Because
Nice.
we put it in a whiskey barrel, we aged it with the barrel that we had gotten from Washington, and which also unfiltered whiskey in a barrel. Fucking intense. Like that shit will knock your teeth out, and
Yeah, right.
it is so good. But we got a little barrel and we aged. We still have it. We're using it every so often to age it and get the oak flavor. But for this stuff here, this was one of the earliest ones that we made. So
man,
if you
it's
guys
got-
want to
It's
air
got
cheers,
It's got an
and
incredible nose on it. Can we all-
Cheers.
To
we all
you.
Wait, oh God, I'm getting in there. Bottoms up, boys.
Yowza.
It doesn't taste as sweet as it used to. It's actually kind of mellowed out a lot.
I love that taste.
That is really good.
That's good.
But for 15%, it kind of slides right down the throat. It doesn't really bite at all.
That's scary.
That's really good. That's so light.
The
Wow.
newer ones that we did with peach and a few other fruited flavors, and we did a blueberry one. We have a few more that are coming up soon here too.
I can drink a lot of that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's really
That's
good.
very, very,
The
very
sweetness
good.
is subtle, and I really like that about it. And it just spreads.
And this is also 2 years old too. I should probably state that. Like this wine bottle's been sitting on the shelf for about 2 years, and I was just like, I got a couple left. I'm gonna grab one and take one with me.
What an awesome thing of you to share
Yeah,
this
thank
with
you so
us.
much, man.
This is
Thank
a really
you.
I
special
like a
thing.
wine that I could funnel into a bathtub.
Just guzzle up with my face near the bottom like a drunken fish. Man, do I love that.
That's very good.
I'm glad you guys like
very,
it.
very, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, so Dave, why are we fucked this week?
Move on.
I will tell you, I am not fucked this week for a very specific reason. I'm very excited. I have been vindicated.
You came out as gay.
Yes. 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 I don't know. I don't know why you're laughing.
Because it's funny that you.
So like this awkward moment, like, oh shit.
Like kissing dudes.
Okay, so here's what happened.
Yes.
I am vindicated. McDouble Watch 2018. I have been following this McDonald's fiasco for months. I don't get that animated about McDonald's. I don't care that much about it. But when they took away my McDouble, it was war. So
I remember when you guys first started talking about this.
Double Watch 2018.
It's now been. I've been talking about McDonald's for like 2 months. I feel like such a fucking idiot. But I will tell you, the market has responded. The analysts are very concerned. McDonald's is being downgraded. They're losing all this cash value off of their stock price.
Maybe it's because they're just a shitty fast food place.
That's the thing is they were always shitty, but in the way I could wrap my head around, like, I get a McDouble and it's not good. It was never good, but it was cheap and it was available. Now, all these analysts are saying they've officially fucked up. The new dollar
They shot
menu,
themselves in the foot.
the new dollar menu was a big mistake for like basically the reasons I've been screaming about.
Yeah.
It's now the Wall Street guys are saying it, and I feel like less of a fat idiot.
What's the thing? They need fat idiots for a company like that.
validity to me.
Right? I feel like my heart is free and I can soar with the eagles.
So to clarify, they're not yet bringing back the McDouble,
but they're working.
but there was going to be changes.
They're aware that they've fucked up.
Changes.
Where's my double go? Changes. Yeah, so the analyst said basically the things that they fucked up on the dollar menu. The biggest one is they didn't have a quote unquote hero item. That like one thing that everyone has to buy.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
The McDouble was that.
Right.
And now without the McDouble and all the crappy chicken sandwich, it's not that good with one pickle on it, and like it just everything.
Yeah, one
single pickle slice.
Yeah.
One cunting pickle.
One cunting pickle.
The saddest thing.
Hunting pickle.
Yeah, we really got to start using that as a verb now.
Cunting?
Hunting,
I
yeah.
use it a verb all
That's a,
right.
Well, I mean, it's more of an adverb, isn't it? In that context?
That'd be
Actually,
cuntingly.
remember specifically the very first time I actually heard you, Brady, use the word cunt, and I laughed so goddamn hard because this lady had taken down all these sweepers from the displays, and we were sitting there, and she didn't want to talk to any of us, and she just wanted to look at all the sweepers. She took like 6 of them down off the shelf and was just pushing them around,
Just rolling them around.
and not plugging them in. Didn't want to let us like help her out, and then she picked one off the shelf, put it on her cart, and walked away. And she had about 5 or 6 sweepers sitting on the floor. And then I looked over and I went, "What the fuck?" And then Brady goes, "Oh, it must be nice to be an entitled cunt." And
That is
is actually my favorite word. So
It's it's fun to say. It's a good round.
yeah,
chocolatey.
It's
chocolate. It's got a sweet
on the
but
end.
bitter flavor to it.
for all the reasons that Louis C.K. loved it, I do too.
for all the reasons that Louis C.K. jerked off in front of us.
Jesus.
Man.
Anyway, that's it. I'm not fucked. I'm vindicated. I am happy to report
That's it.
McDonald's is taking a dive in the market
Fucking
for all the reasons I've been screaming out like a fucking lunatic.
And let's
deserve it.
let's insist this again. Why are you going to McDonald's when you could be going to Wendy's? Always
Or
fresh.
Arby's.
Or dun dun dun.
Here's the thing. So now they're trying to compete with Wendy's because they're trying to do
those
an
two are
unfrozen
just-
burger. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a also shitty unfrozen burger.
Yeah,
What's going to be an also shit?
I'm just saying. I want McDonald's burgers to be frozen.
Yeah.
I really do.
Whatever's
fuck
in
with
there.
my regular plan.
frozen or fresh, it's not going to fix the fact that the patty is like, about like 5 pages thick.
Yeah. Well, here's what scared the shit out of me is managers of McDonald's are saying things. I know way too much about McDonald's now. I've been down the rabbit hole. Right? Managers of McDonald's are saying things like, because we now have an unfrozen patty, we need people to be trained in ways to make sure that when it's cooked to order, it's safe.
What? Dave's following the Mike Hornsby.
Well, I am. I'm watching the market here.
Well, step one is to cook the fucking thing.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. They don't right now, as it exists, stuff just goes on a thing. People walk away, whatever, come back, and then
The
grab
conveyor belt of shit that
Yeah.
just comes out of the kitchen.
it. Comes out burned and unpleasant.
It's not fucking rocket science. You put a patty on a grill, you cook it for a minute and a half on one side, and another minute
Wait
and a
for it
half
to finish
on the
and
other.
leave.
right.
Right.
I mean, you would
leave
think,
it cab fare, and then
I gotta be real.
call it toots, put on your coat, and leave.
right.
I gotta be real. I haven't paid.
Great podcast.
I have not paid for a single thing from McDonald's in maybe a year and a half.
You're just talking to other people to buying it for you.
Well, yeah, once in a
I
while.
like
it's-
how he specified, I have not paid.
right.
Not my money.
Once in a while we get it at work. But
Yeah.
if I could spend, let's say the $4 for, burger, fries, and a drink from McDonald's.
McGrumbles.
Or I could just go to any ordinary bar and grill,
Yeah.
pay another $7 for a drink with alcohol in it, big ass fries, and
Yeah.
a big ass all beef burger.
The value proposition is not working out anymore.
Right.
My mouth is
No.
watering.
No,
Yeah,
the-
right. I'm fucking
the
so
val-
hungry.
the value proposition doesn't work if what you're offering for the discount is just cardboard.
That's why the McDouble worked. And I can't
It was-
say this enough.
It was enough cardboard to make you
Right.
think that it was a real hamburger.
Right.
I'm so insane
With the
about
little
this now.
fucking onions on it.
Yeah, with a little bitty onion.
Little bitty onions.
Or you could go to Burger King and get that 1 square foot of patty that they put on the
right.
fucking burger.
Do you remember the Yumbo sandwich when they brought back the Yumbo?
The Yumbo?
It was a ham and cheese
Is it a
thing.
yummy jumbo?
Yeah, it was a ham and cheese sandwich that was a big thing in the 70s,
Yeah.
and then they brought it back last year for a short amount of time.
Oh, I wish I'd known about that. I
The
love ham and
Yumbo.
cheese.
Yeah, it was good actually. It was good.
Can't wait until McDonald's, after becoming desperate enough, just opens up a big trough. You can come in for $10 and just go till you're done.
Go, just go.
And by
Dump it-
done you mean dead.
Yeah, right. Just dumping in beef and cheese and let you go in there with
Yeah.
your face.
like a grosser hamburger helper.
Oh my god.
Which is already fairly not pleasant.
Right.
Anyway, that does it for me. I don't want to
All right.
monopolize this time anymore.
Tyler, why are we
Got it?
fucked?
Oh God. So I can't remember. I was thinking about this last night while I was at work,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "We're fucked because people don't do their goddamn job."
Amen.
And
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if this one was covered previously or not.
No, you
But-
know what? I want your
doesn't
spin
matter.
anyway.
It's a
It doesn't
perennial.
matter.
It's a
So-
perennial thing.
It's always relevant.
Yeah.
So when when we were working last night, we spent half the night wasting.
Perennial Falcon.
Best Buy at our store is currently renovating our whole appliances department. A lot of the stuff is moving, and it's a lot of physical labor.
Yeah, right.
And so we're moving those massive shelf units and doing everything. So all the
Remove
shelf
those
units
refrigerators.
had to move over 8 feet.
We've got to
And
install micro. I'm
eight-
sorry. We've got to install microwave ovens.
Custom kitchen deliveries.
We got to move these refrigerators. I'm sorry. Go ahead. This
You gotta move these color TVs.
is a little Dire Straits break for you.
So we had to move all these like 30 foot or what are they, Brady? You think like those longer ones that have like the floor care stuff on them? How long do you think those are? Like 50 foot, 30 foot?
Yeah, 30, at least 30.
So they're huge ass big units,
Displays,
and
yeah.
we're sliding them over about 8 feet.
You know what I'm talking
and
about.
they slid them over, and we slid about all 3 aisles over, and then we put our desk. We moved it from the rear of the department up to the front, so it's easier to see for customers. And then we finished, and we put all these new dishwashers in, and we put these display units in, and those were right next to where the shelves were. And there was this the stove and the over-the-range microwave units that we had on display, and that hadn't moved since the original remodel. Okay. And whenever they remodeled, they put it back, and it was fine. And the guy said, "We don't have to move this; it's okay." And I was like, "But it looks crooked. Can we fix it?" And he was like, "No, we don't need to. It's okay." Well, they based all their goddamn measurements off of that crooked ass piece. So we spent half the night fixing all that shit that we put in the first night.
Oh, fuck. You mean to tell me they calibrated the whole store to a shitty, crooked thing?
The whole department.
Okay.
That's someone who was definitely high the first time they put it in.
And then
you remember those guys who came in to do that for last remodel? They were horrible. They had to come back because they fucked up so much.
They did. It was awful. They put things where they didn't belong. Like there was
fly-by-night fuck all guys.
in the handicap section of the restroom, there was a towel dispenser. I don't know why there was a towel dispenser, but it was there for about 2 days, and then all of a sudden it was gone, and it was drywalled over. And like they put it there, and like, oh shit, this doesn't go here, guys. Like we gotta move this. And so,
amazing.
But anyways, so these guys did it, and while we're doing it, 2 nights ago, I was like, is this okay? Like this isn't it's like the ADA requirement is like 4 feet for wheelchairs, but we need it to be 5 feet to be able to fit the Big Joe down, which is like a massive ass forklift that we use in the store. And
Big Joe. Everyone knows Big Joe.
Oh yeah, Little Joe's his son, and
Little Joe was abused.
Please.
Little Joe's
Big Joe and Little Joe Umber.
But anyways,
just call me Joe.
We had to take all the microwaves off, all the stoves out, all the dishwashers out of the display that we had, all the microwaves off of it, tear all of that apart. And move it over, and we were done moving it and screwing it back in and remounting it by like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we started at 9.
Oh my god!
So we wasted most of the night undoing this shit, and I was just like, if you fuckers would have done this the right way when I said to do it the right way, and a couple of the guys are really competent, they really know what they're doing, but they're not the ones in charge.
Yeah,
and
sure, they never are.
That's usually the way that goes.
That's the way. And then the one guy, Eric,
any job.
I don't remember using any names, but
let's just call him Herman.
Yeah, the Herman,
Herbie
Mr. Herman was
Herman Mermen.
and
of Herman Mermen's Surf Mervin Service.
His name was Larry Lester, and so anyways we were all doing this the first night, and everyone was involved, all of them. Like everybody, like the guys who were leading and everything. And then there was an extra guy and a couple other people who were coming to the second night. And I figured, they're also going to be involved. No, dudes, and I understand like people have different jobs, but dude spent the entire night on his computer, didn't talk to us, didn't do anything else, but he was like the head of the whole thing, didn't even like relay anything to us. And I was like, you could have been part of this shit and we could have fixed this, you motherfucker. Like I was just like low key like swearing at him. Like
supervisors who are uninvolved with the work of their subordinates are the worst.
And so that's what really bothered me, and that's why I'm saying that we are fucked, because people don't do their goddamn job, and they don't actually put any thought forward in when they're doing it, so that they don't put themselves into a hole later on.
Man, fuck you, Herman.
Herman Mermen.
Herman Mermen did a bird gerb. That's the bird gerb. What a bird gerb, Herman.
Herman, what the fuck are you doing?
Herman, I'm calling your Fermen, Herman. Think about that while you go home to your worm and Mermen.
Oh, God.
Herman Mermen.
Oh, Francine.
Okay, so now we're going down to this.
Yeah, I know.
So,
fantastic.
Oh, so anyway,
Ben, why are we fucked? I'm asking you.
So we're fucked. I'm looking up. I'm trying to pursue some different work. Honestly, I'm trying to get some full-time work. What I do now is technically part-time. I make enough to get by, but I would like something better. With like benefits and things like that.
I get it.
So I'm looking around, and so many of the articles that I turn to for advice are on specific websites that I won't name, but they rhyme with Gorbs and Jizness Insider.
Man, do you have a subscription to Jizzness Insider? And if so, can I borrow it?
You know,
Can I get the March issue for
Jizzness. There's a great centerfold in Jizzness Insider.
It's sperm. It's just
I
sperm.
read it for the articles. I don't read it for the...
You know, I'm a classy gentleman.
Yeah.
Let's read the articles about jizz.
Right.
Real talk, though, I remember... Playboy was the articles.
Yeah.
Penthouse was the fucking smut.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it works.
Penthouse was clever because the articles were the smut.
Right. You can't get away with saying I read Penthouse for the articles.
No.
Right.
Like my dad had a subscription to Playboy. You can't argue for
No.
Right.
Oh, I just get it because I like to watch girls pee on other guys.
Oh, okay. I understand that.
Good.
You see, at least he's upfront about it.
You're right.
That's what I respect.
President Trump.
China.
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 Gina.
China.
So anyway, that's where girls pee from.
Now that we've covered that.
Now anyway,
In case you didn't know.
Just for those of you who are wondering at home.
so on these sites that again I won't name, they won't let you read the fucking article if you have an ad blocker turned on, which any sensible person does because ads
You
are
need ad blockers.
ads. They're intrusive. They muddle with your fucking cache. They do all sorts of bad things.
Yeah, they track me. I don't want them. I want them out of my business.
Yeah, so I wasn't in the mood to whitelist those articles. So what I did instead was I found out how to disable them. And for anyone listening at home, if you're using Chrome, right-click the little pop-up that comes up and go to Inspect. Whatever element is highlighted in the source code, right-click it and hit Delete.
Yeah.
Now,
right.
some of them are a little insidious, and they'll also disable the scroll bar if one of those pop-ups
I've
comes
seen
up.
that before.
So if you go to
Oh God damn it!
I'm fucking up over there.
if you look under the the style sheet for the body tag and find something that says overflow and delete that, it'll give you the scroll bar back.
Okay, so you're saying style the body.
Style
Style
that
the
body,
body.
until you overflow.
Okay, good.
Overflow the Jizzness Insider.
Yeah.
You
But that's-
versus Jizzness Insider.
But that's how you do it. Fuck you, Gorbs and Jizzness Insider.
Gorbs. I like Gorbs. We didn't even talk about Gorbs.
Gorbs of Jizzness Insider.
So busy with Jizzness Insider. I'm sorry.
It's Gorbs upon
I don't mean
Gorbs.
I don't mean to neglect the Gorbs.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You don't want to neglect the Gorbs.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Gorbs have the same right as everything else.
Gorbs either sounds like a wad of sticky stuff or some movie theater candy.
Yeah, or both.
Maybe.
potentially.
Right.
Maybe
Welcome to Tinseltown. Can we get you some Gorbs?
Yeah, let me get a box of Gorbs.
Yeah, we scraped him off the floor from the showing before.
It's all the used gum that we get from under the seats.
Can I read my Jizzness Insider in here? I just like the articles.
Dad, I want some Gorbs. Not this time.
Quiet, little Joey.
When you're older, Timmy. When you're older.
I'm jacking off over here. Leave me alone.
Dad, I found your stash of Jizzness Insider.
Okay, it's time for us to have the talk.
Don't tell your mother. You found this collection of magazines
Don't-
about jizz.
Don't tell your mother you found that Jizzness Insider.
Let me be honest. Let me be clear with you, son. I bought Jizzness Insider for the pictures,
Jizzness
not for the
Insider.
articles. Those articles are shit.
You see, son, I'm into smut. You know what smut is, son?
It's trending in the stock markets. Jizzness Insider, I barely know her.
Oh god.
Wow.
Thanks, Big Joe.
This is a weird opening. I like it.
It was great.
I got
I
a good
dig it.
energy going on
I
here.
dig it for real. Well, we'll be back. We're gonna play a little round of reality or bullshit when we come back, and then we'll get right into our topic. So stick around. This is the Three Dudes Show.
Assholes.
Woo!
Yeah.
welcome back. We're here at the Three Dudes Show in beautiful sunny Dave's basement.
Yeah.
Wow, look how sunny it is.
And we are
This beautiful light from the ceiling is great.
Yeah.
It's so bright.
Yeah, we got 3 whole suns in here. We got that sun, and we got the Genesee beer sun.
Oh,
We know how
I
stuff
honestly thought you were going to point to me because I'm so pale.
Genesee, for the working man who beats his wife.
It's official state beer of Kentucky.
What you going against Johnny Cream?
Nothing. I like a beer that costs less than the can that it's in.
No joke.
Yeah,
Honestly.
33 cents per beer.
It's good that we bring this up because my reality or bullshit for this week involves beer.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I want you to tell me if the following fact is reality or bullshit. We know the high five. The high five is traditionally used, yes, to, well, you usually don't do it with yourself. That's just applause.
That's just masturbation.
However, in medieval Germany,
Yes.
it was considered bad manners to applaud for yourself if you won. So the high five originated in medieval Germany at drinking competitions, boxing matches, what have you. And the teammates would high five each other to generate applause. You couldn't applaud yourself, so they would just kind of applaud each other with the high five. Is that reality or is that bullshit?
Ooh, good one. Really good one, Ben.
That sounds just crazy enough to be reality.
It really does.
I'm going to go with reality.
I feel like realistically, we probably actually don't know the origin of the high five.
Germany does some
So
weird
I'm going to
shit
be the one that says no here.
Okay.
2 yeses and a no, I think.
Is that we're going reality?
Bullshit.
Reality.
Yep.
Dave, you're correct.
God
I made that up completely.
Yes.
That sounded really good.
Sure does.
You, sir, are convincing.
It says here from Wikipedia, for decades, the conventional wisdom has been that the first high five occurred between Dusty Baker and Glenn Burke of the 77 Dodgers.
That's right. I do remember reading about this stupid shit. There was a random time where I just started digging up weird factoids, and that
Google
was
stuff.
one of them. I do remember this.
Yeah,
Just Googling.
The 77 Dodgers, last day of the regular season. In the 6th inning, Dusty Baker hit a home run off Houston Astros pitcher J.R. Richard. It was Baker's 30th, making the Dodgers the first team in history to have 4 hitters with at least 30 homers each in a single season.
Wow. Damn.
Wow.
That's still impressive. Incidentally.
And so that's he high-fived his teammate Glenn Burke.
So that's what they think the first high five was.
That's the first documented instance of the high five. There are some theories that date it back to like the
Ancient Egyptian.
long ago.
like at the very earliest to the 1920s. But many agree it comes from American pro sports.
No shit.
And not from medieval Germany.
Yeah, fuck you, Germans.
That was a thing I made up entirely.
That sounded very convincing.
Yeah, it's really good.
That was good. It was
I figured
just enough-
I had 2 real facts. I needed to get a bullshit fact. In
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
facts.
supposedly where it comes from. Incidentally, the Wikipedia article for the high five is hilarious. The high five is a hand gesture that occurs when 2 people simultaneously raise one hand each, about head high, and push, slide, or slap the flat of their palm against the flat palm of the other person.
This is something humans do for
This is
reasons.
this is a thing that humans do. It also, I don't know if it has
Look
this.
at me, I'm a human with
still.
these funny sticks on the end of my arm.
It still has under variations. It has a step-by-step picture diagram.
Low side.
Diagram.
Victim misses.
Oh my
too
God.
slow with finger guns.
That's every bit as uncomfortable to look at as the diagram of how to put a condom on.
Yeah.
yeah.
With a banana.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm talking about? The diagram inside the condom.
Oh, yeah.
package,
With the hair that's.
so he's got that funny little.
There's a
penis.
diagram inside the packaging.
Yeah, you never read
Oh, it's on
that?
the box. I
It's on
think.
the
I think it's on the box.
Wait,
I just assumed just.
wait,
done.
are you
Like,
saying that it actually includes pubic hair inside the
Yes.
condom?
No.
Or hold on.
I think we've got
rewind here.
No, here, I'll draw you a picture.
Yeah,
of it.
sure. Well, let's all wait patiently while Chris draws a penis, please.
But yeah, no, that I can't believe that's still on here because that's several years old. That step-by-step diagram of the too slow variation.
While you're looking that up, would you like a random fact?
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so I have.
Oh God!
Ah, Jesus.
That's what it looks like in the
God.
manual.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I actually have two random facts. One is.
I mean, it looks like a bearded Klansman, but you know. Okay.
It looks like Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
That's a great penis you got there, Chris.
Thank you. It is mediocre at best.
Oh my God.
It barely works anymore.
Oh, so anyway, this fact. I'm sorry.
Factoid.
There's actually two. They're not really related to each other. One was one I posted recently on social media, but the first one was relating to what we were talking about with that. The first instance of using the term Googling something. Do you know how old that term is?
What?
No.
Can it possibly be older than to mean to Google the way we use it?
No, it doesn't. But where do you think it was first used?
Where?
It's going to be really underwhelming, trust me.
A math lab where they first came up with the number, the Googleplex.
Brady, you got that?
I was gonna say a porn studio, but I don't think that's right.
That's right.
It was a studio.
I was going to say, how about your mom's vagina? Let's go with that.
Tracy Morgan in 30 Rock.
The first time using the term just Google it or Googling as a verb was used on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
No way.
It was
No
used
kidding.
on the show, and it was the first time it had ever been heard publicly as a statement to like actually use it as a verb to do something.
Now, this I assume was like still in the days of the search engine wars.
Yeah, it
where,
was like
Yahoo
early
and all
2000s.
Vista.
Like dial-up was starting to slowly fade out, and DSL was becoming a thing. That was when they started to use it. And
2001.
Look at that, Eric.
Shit.
Dial-up is fading away.
Here, the
my
microwave
second-
popcorn.
Ponce de Leon discovers the fountain of youth.
Please, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Order on the
second-
episode.
My second random fact of the day is that Liechtenstein, which is a country
Yes.
right near Germany, they speak German and Swiss. It's a mix between the two, and
Yeah.
it is a square mile, 64 square miles of a country. It is the sixth smallest country in the world, and Snoop Dogg tried to rent the country.
I read that before.
But isn't it also one of the wealthiest countries
Yes,
in
it is.
the
It is
world?
one of the wealthiest countries in the world because they have started to in 2010. Snoop Dogg tried to rent the country. Apparently, I'm hammered, and he tried to rent the country, and they said no. He even spoke to like the king of everything, and like it's a monarchy still there.
Yeah.
But he tried to get everything
the
going.
Prime
He
Minister.
wanted- the Prime Minister. He wanted to be able to rent the country to be able to use it for one of his music videos, and they said no. And so after that was done, they reconsidered it, and 2 years later, they actually rebuilt a good portion of the main area of the country to be able to say, we can rent this country for $71,000 a night. And most of the country is in entire agreement with this, and this is one of the few countries that has voted to expand the monarchy's power.
Wow. Listen. That's a business loan that the four of us could take out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
right,
we could
Liechtenstein.
feasibly get that.
Depose its monarch.
We're going to be paying this for the rest of our lives, boys, but one night is going to be amazing.
Wouldn't that be incredible?
Well, shit, I bought this house for less.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
They wanna fucking expand the monarchy. Like Britain's a much bigger country, and look how that turned out.
They did it because the way that their monarchy is laid out is that he would be able to go out to like do this business to other countries and bring that business back to them as country revenue.
I see.
That was one of the things that they had laid out in their new plan for the laws. And apparently he's a really chill dude, so he's down for whatever.
yeah.
So it's like Black Panther, except a lot more white.
Yeah.
Liechtenstein is like this, tiny little hidden country in Europe that wants to.
It literally doesn't show up on a map. I just had to zoom in on it. It was like this big.
Yeah, I've looked at it before. I can't remember
only
why
gone
it
this
came out.
far.
64 square miles.
Yeah.
That's about the size of Rhode Island. Yeah,
There's like 30 or so thousand people that live in this area.
30,000. An entire country of 30,000. I think the city of Youngstown has more people than that.
Yeah.
We currently do. There are 62,000 people
I was
living
gonna say,
in
it's
the
like
area
60.
of Youngstown.
Dude.
And we went down from 160,000 in the 1970s, whenever the steel mills crashed,
Sure.
to 60,000 within a year.
Tyler brings his fucking nose. numbers.
And,
Holy shit.
It never really dropped below 60,000. It stayed like 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
See, Dave, this is hard because now there's two smart people on the show.
Right. And we're not one of them.
This is particularly
Oh,
bad.
shut the fuck up.
Seriously, dummy corner over here is like, well, how many is 60 many?
You got another beer?
I got this stuff, guys.
Let's see how many is though on my hands, though, please.
So yeah, it's one
That's
of the
awesome.
couple random facts.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Fucking A.
All right,
I
man.
love that.
Let's get this topic rolling. I want to hear this.
All right.
Don't make me wait.
I can't wait for this.
Oh man, there's gonna be so much interesting voice work throughout this episode.
Oh, it's. You want to hear more?
Yes, of
Yeah,
course,
absolutely we do.
naturally. Do my dad's voice.
What the fuck? I met you a couple days ago.
Wow, son. I can't believe you're doing this podcast.
No, I can do Elmo, Gollum. Jar Jar technically is a variant of Gollum, but like a deep Southern Russian voice,
Gollum's
like an
fun.
old man.
I
There's
want old man voice now.
Yeah.
Would you like the old man? This is technically not like really solely visible, but like,
no. So if you
Old man, I need potions.
I'm
So-
impressed.
oh, I can make you potions, boy. I've got all the potions.
like there's so many different there's so many different things. It depends on what you're gonna do with it, and also like the
That's the mic we do.
like there's like so many different things that you can really do. Like
Hello, Kermit the Frog here. Today's letter is E for. Shit, no.
Embolism.
Today's letter is J for Jisness Insider.
Subscribe
so
today.
many different things. But no, actually, I got into a comical joke with my girlfriend recently.
Yeah.
Where we pulled up to Taco Bell, and I wanted to order an Elmo's voice, and she wouldn't let me do it, and it would have been the greatest thing in the world.
See, that's men for you. We're the idiots that want to do that.
chalupa, a chicken quesadilla, a complete Elmo's order.
Like there was just
That's
crazy.
great.
That's the best Elmo I've ever heard in
I once
person.
ordered my Burger King meal as the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. And the teenage girl that I ordered from did not get it.
I'm sure.
and then there's like the
Macho Man's gonna have himself a Whopper. Yeah.
The American Dream Dusty Rhodes would like a double cheeseburger combo.
double cheeseburger.
A melting pot melt, if you will.
if you will. And then
I
there's
will.
like
I will.
And
certainly
I will.
I
and
certainly
then
will.
there's like the lower like
Oh, you want tango, big boy? Yeah. And you want to show how I do it down south?
like there's like really
You
like
got a lot of range.
there's some really like deep voices, and my voice I created an audio demo reel, and I actually have the same microphone that you guys have here.
Nice.
And the mixer that I use and stuff is like a third this size, but the stuff that I did, there were 16 voices within a 1 minute time frame, and the way that the way that you would hear an audio demo reel is that like, hi, my name's Tyler.
Yeah.
Last name. And
Right. Just censor ourselves a little bit here.
And so, hi, my name's Tyler. This is my demo reel, and then you would like hear like white noise, like, and then it cuts to each each clip.
Little
And
spacers in between.
Well, I don't have that like experience of doing each of those like in a video or a movie or something like that. So what I did instead to try and make myself stand out a little bit more was that each of the voices talks to each other. And
Sure.
So,
Nice.
do you have a cup? Here,
Do I have
could
a
use?
cup?
Like a glass, like an
Do you have
empty
a
glass.
I want a CUP.
No,
All right.
I'm gonna fill this thing up. Believe me. No, so
I do have a CUP.
There's
You want a CUP?
Have you guys have seen all the Dark Knight Rises, right? You guys have all seen it.
Yeah. I haven't seen Rises, but I know what you're
But you know
into.
Bane. So,
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
like this, and then you're a big guy.
For you,
Like there's different things that you can do with it.
When I do that,
That's amazing.
Aubrey tells me I sound too much like Sean Connery.
You ever,
Nobody knew who I was until I put on the mask.
you ever been to a magic show?
nobody knows who I was until I put on the mask.
Have you ever been to a magic show and seen the one guy who's way
Karen,
too
that's
old
what-
to be going like,
Yeah.
like that's me right now. I'm like, holy
That was
shit.
we talked about this. I think last week or the week before. We had the game where we had to do the accents.
Yeah.
and then the house rule when we
Utter
play,
nonsense.
Utter nonsense. The house rule when we play that
God.
game. There's like choose your own cards.
Yeah.
The house rule is the final round. You have to do Bane's voice.
Yeah.
and you have to put the mask over your face because no one knows who you are until you put on the mask.
It's like Cards Against Humanity, except like whatever prompt card you have to read it in
In
an
a certain
accent, and then
accent.
the judge picks who's his funniest.
Right.
The one of the things that I did in the video or not the video but the audio reel was that I would show up in my voice occasionally throughout like the thing, and they didn't like me, which I thought was like a good concept because they all actually end up, if I play it for you, I'll play it after we're done here.
Yeah.
But they end up kicking me out of the audio booth. And like, you can't do this to me, no! And you hear like a door close. And
So your characters have essentially ejected you from the
yeah,
recording.
they all got rid of it. And then I ran out of time. There's a 60-second maximum that you can use for the audio reel and for industry standards. And I was going to be like, wow, it got really quiet in here. Like it was just going to be, but
Nice.
But no, one of the things was, what was it? How many voices are in here? And I was just like, in a world where one man is stuck in an audio booth and there are tons of voices. And I was like, wait, whoa. And it's like this record screech noise, like, how many are in here? And then that's when Bane chimes in. It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. And then they chime into everything else. It turns out to be
That's sweet, dude.
That's fantastic. I got to hear that.
I don't mean to like hijack the show. So
No.
Actually, not at all.
Actually, somewhere towards the end, we should give if there's a place where you have that.
I have it on my
for
phone
people
here,
to
yeah.
listen to.
Yeah.
Do you have it online?
I could play it on here, but I don't have it online posted
Okay.
anywhere.
okay.
We'll play a little bit at the end.
Maybe we can link to it on Facebook or something. It'd be nice to put it out where people
for
hear
sure.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so our topic this week.
We have a topic.
We have a topic. I don't know if I've ever told you guys about this. I'm sure I have at some point. But the thought had occurred to me, just just random thought about my past.
You're looking at me like you're ready for me to make a joke.
No, I'm sorry. I just looked. No, I looked at him because I heard you make this noise. What? And I was like,
I did.
I thought you did.
Really?
One of you
No,
did.
it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I
heard.
So anyway,
That's why I didn't make any noise. I just reached for a glass.
Sorry, I was going to make a joke. Incidentally, I thought that's why you were looking at me. But
so my just randomly thinking about my past, about mainly about like middle school and high school, because I've been playing a certain video game lately that kind of takes me back.
Nice.
And it occurred to me, this is a memory I've like actively tried to suppress. In middle school, I did wrestling.
yeah, me too. Actually,
I did the whole tights wearing
Singlet, yep.
Yeah, the singlet,
I love the fond grappling of other men.
Yep.
yeah, the vaguely
Wrestling, please.
wrestling.
vaguely homoerotic Greco-Roman wrestling.
Vaguely.
I don't know why I put vaguely in there.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking. What are some times that you guys have tried to broaden your horizons and it just like at some point you were just like, this ain't working.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great topic.
This is just not gonna happen.
Trying
at all.
stuff that doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, like it would be fun to do X, and then maybe depending on how long the activity takes, you get a certain amount of time in, and you're like, this was a mistake.
I've got one preloaded actually.
I've got a couple of those.
Tell.
I'd be
Yeah, go
glad.
ahead.
I'd be
Start
glad
us
to
off,
start
Dave.
on one, which was
astronaut.
yeah, right. I wanted to be astronaut, but then I died.
In the Challenger
Nationwide.
explosion.
That was a really odd, like, kirk to the side of the head.
About 5 days after my capsule escaped Earth's gravity well, I was like, this astronaut thing ain't for me.
Yeah,
Major Tom to ground control.
I miss normal peanut butter.
stepping
Can I
through
land?
I'm stepping through the door and I'm floating in the most peculiar way.
Is that normal?
Why did you step through the door, Major Tom? There's no gravity out there.
That's a great question.
Yeah. The stars look very different today. I'm sorry. I was doing a Bowie thing there.
like it.
Get back in your capsule.
If you dare.
Are you insane?
I will tell you one. You guys witnessed me do this. which is last year, I tried to build because we had
I
a little.
wasn't here for it.
Yeah, you weren't here for this. I tried to build for work. We had a little competition. We were going to build line racing robots.
Oh, that's right.
Which was super exciting to me.
yeah.
Yeah. So I bought this Raspberry Pi computer
yeah.
with a little case and a little. I had sensors and everything. I was going to program it to follow a line. It's very simple. You just have to have motors on both sides and a little sensor that knows where the line is. It senses white and black on paper, and it just tries to follow the black line. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
It is
Yeah.
not that simple.
I found out very quickly I fucking hated doing this. And it seemed like it would be so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real bitch, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
with a computer, all you do is you've got certain things to get the desired output. But then like with robotics, it's almost like running an input through a proxy. So
Kind of. Yeah.
you gotta set the thing up in such a way that it can determine its own input and then do its own things.
Yeah, so you try to handle for situations is what happens as you go, okay, here's all the inputs, and just if this happens to this, and if this happens to this, I had to learn Python. I learned a little bit of Python. I didn't really know that much
Python's
about
actually
Python.
one of the easier ones to learn too,
It
which is a positive point.
It's
Right.
what I've been I've been trying to learn some languages, and Python's been what I've been recommended. I don't have the balls to start it yet. I'm sticking with CSS.
The one thing though is like that I've learned, because I have IT certification through like a lot of my training stuff, but computers are the smartest, dumbest things in the world.
Yes.
And they will do exactly what you tell them.
Yes, they will.
But if you're just like, why didn't you do this?
Yeah.
Well, it's because you didn't put like this comma somewhere in there, and it's just like, oh, that's what you meant. And then it's the tiniest inclusion of detail is what really makes the difference whenever you're programming.
Yes, it is.
This reminds me of a good joke. The programmer's wife told him to go to the store, and she said, get a loaf of bread. And while you're there, if they have eggs, pick up a dozen. He never came back.
Never came back. Yeah, because he got stuck in a while loop. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And for me, it was even like harder. For me,
I just feel like for me.
just everyone just go listen to Bill Burr right now.
Just turn this off and go listen to the Monday morning.
so
podcast.
much funnier.
Or finish this and then go.
Listen to Bill Burr do the job that four guys are trying to do
He's a superhuman.
on his own.
He's a super.
Incidentally, Bill Burr makes enough money reading poorly reading the advertising on his podcast
Yes.
to pay his mortgage.
Unbelievable.
That's insane.
And I will say
The
this.
training is sponsored by Audio.
In particular, the ads for ZipRecruiter, he no longer even says the words
yeah.
ZipRecruiter.
Oh, look who's back, everybody. It's old Zip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He even say the name of the company, and they pay him money.
Yeah. Enough money with all.
Because that everybody knows what that means if they've been listening to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got ZipRecruiter. He's got Sherry's Berries.
He's got the Dollar Shave
Dollar
Club
Shave
guys.
Club. Yeah. MeUndies.
Dr. Carver's Easy
Shave butter.
We're actually now plugging.
I know we are. Listen, seriously.
We're plugging the things that Bill Burr is supposed to be plugging.
Worse than he does it, which is already bad.
You have IT certifications through training that you've done at work.
Not just at work. I actually have like a certificate for IT through the vocational services from Mahoning County.
We gotta hook
Career
you guys
Technical
up.
Services.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a job specifically with like IT and computers and.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck at Best Buy, and my degree right now is in telecommunications.
Yeah. That's jobs, right? I mean, jobs, you guys.
Fuck 'em.
Steve Jobs. He's dead, right?
He's dead.
That's the thing.
That's how you hold a wine glass, right?
I tried to. I tried to broaden my horizons through having a job, and I decided a long time ago that it wasn't for me. But as it turns out, I need money to feed myself and afford a place to live.
Yeah.
So
Because if you don't have a job, then how do you get the hot pockets that go in here?
right, right. So a long time ago, I decided that working for pay wasn't for me. Except it's just that I need money.
Yeah. I need money. Yeah.
The
fuck
fucking struggle, man.
Fuck you, pay me. That's my 2018 motto. Fuck you, pay me.
That's it.
Also, it'd be nice to be fulfilled in some way.
That's it.
Well, also, I guess it'd be nice to live in a nicer area.
Incidentally,
Not Youngstown or Ohio or Pennsylvania.
Keep going.
Incidentally, I've been using
Maybe
that
California
as
or Florida.
I've been using that as the name for my single player save files lately.
Das
THASSIT. That's her.
Das huh?
That's it.
Oh man. Yeah, so anyway, the end of the robot story is not only could I not really figure out anything beyond turning a motor on and off.
Sure.
I couldn't figure out how to wire a sensor. I couldn't figure out how to interface with it. I really didn't know what I was doing, and now its mangled corpse is sitting in my office for me to occasionally look at and then feel bad about. That's right, exactly. It's like twisted up in a ball going, I can't see anything.
Well, I remember you were using the Raspberry Pi to experiment with emulation. How did that go?
That was cool enough, except that so the idea was to put on like this full emulator software for all these different ROMs.
I actually didn't show Brady that whenever he was over the other day.
Yeah, I can't remember what the package was called. RetroPie.
RetroPie, yeah.
Yeah.
I have that. So mine is built into a Super Nintendo. So when you push the power button on and push the power button off,
Nice.
And there's all of the HDMI cords and connections up in the back. And I took a Dremel tool and routed out around the front so you could fit 4 USB
Put your
ports in the
USB
front.
plugs in.
And
Yeah.
I have Super Nintendo connections, N64, and Sega Genesis connections. On it.
The only problem I ran into.
When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green, leather sofa, got to rides a limousine with the chauffeur.
No, please go on.
And if you don't know, now you know, homie.
That's the white way to say that.
White version
That is
of
the
that
white
song.
way.
That is the white radio edit.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, that
So
didn't
you don't
work out either.
offend your father.
Your dad.
Oh, like my dad's gonna listen to this.
Your dad.
No, yeah, the retro
If
pie
it
didn't work
doesn't
out
have
either.
Trump's name included in it, he's not.
Yeah, right. Is that the situation, the state of things?
Oh, that's great.
Love you, Donnie.
This is not a topic for
love
like
it,
on
Donnie.
microphone, but like it's a miserable experience.
We get into all the worst
Yeah.
topics. on
Oh
this
no, you
microphone.
don't. You don't
I
understand.
just didn't want to drag you guys into that one, but
No,
I was told to
yeah.
go home and read my Bible to decide who I need to vote for.
Dude, I feel like I completely understand. I mean, my family's very different now, but
Well,
I
mean,
remember hearing things like that.
Well, I mean, I seem to recall the Bible saying it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that should tell you all you need to know about
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
yeah, it really should, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Jesus wasn't so much about the money thing. He was more about, like, giving what you have to people that need it, kind of thing.
Yeah, like helping people thing.
Incidentally, I think my dad might be more liberal than I am.
Oh, really?
Holy shit!
Yeah.
More liberal.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I always. Okay, so
Jesus, Marty.
here's right, here's left, here's center, right? I always thought I was like right here.
See, here.
Yeah, you guys were talking about the last time.
Yeah.
There's a category I feel like needs to be brought back, which is classically liberal.
Yeah.
Which is
Nowadays, if you say you're liberal, it's like, oh, you're a bleeding like
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
bleeding
when
heart
you're
liberal, like,
yeah.
tree hugging
Well,
douchebag.
when I think
No, cuck is Jewish, right?
when I think of the liberal kind of
Yeah.
ideal, I
Yeah.
kind of think of Atticus Finch, honestly.
Yeah, kind of.
Like the classically liberal, like you know.
But if he smoked weed and aborted things,
But only if those things are included is it okay for him to be liberal.
I mean,
Like
if
my
Attic-
bong scout.
If Atticus Finch had to choose between smoking a blunt or aborting a baby, what do you think he'd choose?
He'd shoot a dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
both.
he would. Yeah.
He'd shoot a
You would
pregnant
choose
dog.
yes.
Kill two dogs with one stone.
Incidentally, why did the sheriff make him shoot the dog?
Because he's an asshole.
Because they hated him. They hated him for being like, hey, maybe I don't know. I want to do my job and represent this guy like he's a human fucking being. And they were like, no, black people aren't real people.
No,
Black people aren't
come
real
on.
people.
Where do you think you are? This is the South.
And here we are, all these years later, and we're still talking about it.
It's still a point of contention for some reason.
I'm trying to think about things that I did that failed.
Yeah,
Religion.
I mean, I'm a notable
Yeah.
failure, but I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Are you a failure?
I am a failure.
Well,
I am a failure.
see, it's not about failing.
It's about trying and not succeeding.
Oh
yeah.
Which is better,
no.
infinitely better than.
Not even that. Like you try, maybe you have some beginner's luck, or maybe you succeed, maybe and
What's
then
the
you,
topic?
and then you just decide
This.
I mean, failing can. I don't want it to be a negative, you know.
Right. It wasn't for you. This is maybe like the better.
It's different.
Okay.
To quit doing something is not necessarily to fail exactly.
Right.
Maybe you just. Don't
get me wrong. I failed hard at wrestling. I sucked.
I did too. Yeah, I did. You know what? I got better at wrestling after I did wrestling in middle school too, and I wrestled very, very little. And I actually ended up being the team manager because I was so poor at wrestling. I know where you're coming from. I pussed out of wrestling. Like, it was too fucking hard. I actually just pussed out of wrestling completely.
I didn't get I didn't understand sports at the time. Like, I didn't understand strategy. I didn't understand the purpose of the drills. And then it was only years that it was like, oh, you got to uproot them. You got to go for the legs.
Now, incidentally, I will tell you that when I was older, like not that much older, but say add another 7 years onto me.
I was older.
when I was like 18 or 19, we used to do just basically like Fight Club in my friend's backyard in Youngstown.
We may have talked about this.
We used to, and I mean and the rule was, no. The only rule we had was don't scare your family, so you couldn't hit someone in the face.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
You could use grapples. You could punch in the stomach. You could like hit below the neckline as much as you wanted, but no like broken noses. No face contact.
Or
you could use
crotch contact.
all the wrestling holds you wanted. All
a little bit of crotch.
All
contact.
the kicks you wanted.
To talk about.
And so like I realized the little bit I knew about wrestling then came in handy when I was high in my friend's backyard and putting people. And the thing is, you remember,
great guys.
You remember my friend Tommy? You remember Tommy,
of course.
Yeah. So Tommy was a state champion wrestler.
You know what? I forgot that about him.
He was really good.
The second he came up, I'd be like, my stomach, oh my god, like I can't do it.
Now he wasn't on the middle school team, but he was on a private team.
Yeah,
and he was a state champion. Like he was very good.
Oh god,
he knew it was up.
The one wrestling hold that I remember that I can perform to perfection every time is the guillotine. So do you know how the guillotine?
Cut their head off?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Where
You
you
literally lay him down,
giant blade,
and you just slice their head off
him
at the
with
neck, which is why he's not around anymore.
Sure. Lose one match and that's it.
No, but that was the one. That was the one wrestling move because he would always, low center of gravity. He would go for the legs,
right?
And every time he would go for the tackle, rather than sprawl, which is what like if you watch MMA, that's what they do. They sprawl. They push their legs back, and you get under their head like this when they go for the legs. I would fall back into the tackle, and then a guillotine choke is basically, I'm going to try and mime
it's
this.
It's like head under the elbow?
He would go for the tackle, so he'd come here, and I would underhook his head.
Yeah, if you're listening, he's doing the classic noogie pose.
Right, it's a blood choke, so he would come in head first this way.
Yeah.
And then you put the crook of your elbow up against his neck, and then lean back.
Right.
Right? So you put your like I was right-handed, so the right side's the dominant side. I would underhook my right leg behind his right leg, and then you lean back and you put some torque onto it.
Yeah.
And that's a blood choke. So that was the only wrestling hold that ever took, and he fell for it every fucking time. He was a state champion wrestler, and I would hit him.
Just dive for it.
And he would beat me a lot of the time, but I did Golden Gloves. Speaking of things that you failed at, I did Golden Gloves for a short time, and I had my nose
boxing, right?
Yeah, I had my nose broken for the first time, and that was the end of that.
No shit.
Fuck that.
So I can throw a punch. I know how to throw a punch, and I know how to. I'm slow, but I can shimmy on my feet.
You can shimmy.
I can.
Hey, word of the day. Word of the day.
Word of the day is
Shimmy.
You could wobble a skosh.
I could wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. But no, that was the one. That was the one thing he would fall for it every time. But that was the extent of my wrestling career. I failed miserably when I was in middle school.
So you had something resembling like tinfoil gloves, I guess.
What?
Not golden gloves.
Whenever you punch each other, it was a crinkling noise.
Paper bag gloves.
They're like bronze gloves.
Yeah.
And like old shitty leather gloves.
Yes.
Plastic bags wrapped around with a rubber band.
But yeah, no, that was the extent of my wrestling career. I got better when I was, young and stupid and willing to get beat up in
now
my
you're
friend's
older
backyard.
and stupid.
Right, exactly.
Me too.
Yeah, I was
I
miserable at that. So
Yeah.
So
Well, gosh, how about you, Tyler?
Oh God.
What's the thing that you suck at?
Not much. No,
I'm basically great at everything. A number one.
there's when I went to college,
Top of the heap.
it's great.
A number one.
Whenever I graduated high school, my certification at the MCCTC was able to get me free college courses at YSU.
Nice.
But
Uh-oh.
I was dedicated to being in this specific degree, and I was talked into because at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh was what I was.
Oh,
I
did
had
you go?
My
Did you
heart
go?
set
Oh,
on
no.
the
I'm
Art,
so
the
sorry
Art
for you
Institute of
immediately.
Pittsburgh.
I'm telling you, so did I. When I graduated high
Oh.
school, I wanted to go there
So
bad.
me and my buddy Steve, one of the guys who I grew up with, and we knew each other our whole lives, and we were best friends, and still are. And so we had our hearts set on that place, and we were going to go there, and he was going to go for graphic design or photography, and I was going to go for game art and design. That was my thing, because it would be a 3D background, and you could work on a lot of different stuff, and they taught you really well. And we had gone to their promotional stuff, which did a really great job of showcasing everything that you could do with the summer programs. I don't know if you did those or not.
I didn't do a single program, but I went for orientation.
They had these summer programs. It was like $300. You spent an entire week at the school learning about the same things the college students did. And I went there and I took on the program, and when I graduated high school, they were like, but you get these programs, you get these free classes, but you have to use them. And I was just like, I'm set on going with this. Like, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to do that. Oh boy, was that a mistake. And so
Oh my God.
I went to the school, and I studied, and you were a number to them. You were not a student to them. That was the thing that was really, really a big drawback. And like most schools, you are a number.
Yeah.
You're not really a student. But the culture that is at the Art Institute is that it's a bunch of shut-ins that don't talk to each other. There's no campus life. There are no activities for students. There's nothing. So you would go to your 4-hour class for the day, and that's the only class that you had for that day, or whatever it was, or maybe 2. And then, because instead of having a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, you had that Monday class, and that was it.
Yeah.
And you went there, and you studied, and you were burnt out for that period of time, and then you went back home. Now, the school ran on quarters, so they would do 10 to 12 weeks, and then a 2-week break, and then 10 to 12 weeks and a 2-week break.
Right.
And this happened all year. And that would just burn you out, and it was a 3-year program, so you were able to get your bachelor's degree in about 3 years if you did everything right.
Now, how long were you there, or was it for these summer classes?
And so I moved into the dorms, and I was a full-time
did the whole
student.
thing.
I was 100%, so all shebang, and I was sold on it. I bought hook, line, and sinker. And so I moved into Shannon Hall, and I started in on the 4th floor was my apartment, and they were nice apartments, honestly. And and a fun fact, the building that Shannon Hall was in has since been abandoned by the Art Institute, and it just got sold to an apartment company for a couple $1 million, and they're investing a few $1 million in it to renovate the entire.
Right.
To renovate the entire apartment.
I'm sorry, I just did the Jeremy Clarkson thing.
What did you say?
It's the largest apartment in the world.
In the world. And so they sold us on a lot of these lies and hopes.
Yeah.
And that's what the school has become known
Our
for.
whole generation.
Yes. Oh God.
I've known more than one person that graduated out of there.
Yeah, some people do it really do a great job. Like they have a good career, but others, it's just like they get stuck in this rut of just debt and student depression.
But that is huge.
Yeah.
because it's $24,000
a year,
goddamn
right?
year.
I
Like,
had an ex who went,
man.
and I have a little experience with the Art Institute. My ex went there, and it was just she hated it.
Oh, I spent about 2 to 2.5 years there, and I was behind. I was honestly probably about a year and a half or so into the progress of it. A year and a half to 2 years, and ultimately through other circumstances that were beyond my control, I had to leave, and I came back home, moved back in with my parents, took a year off, and then I went to YSU.
Yeah. Right.
And that was I thought about what I needed and what I wanted to do, and I reconfigured my student education, and now I'm in telecommunications. But I took a long, hard look at what I had done with the game art and design, and I was like, I fucked this up. Like, this is bad.
You mean like stopping and looking at what you actually came out of it with?
Yeah, what I came out of,
like total of what you produced,
like what I learned, what I came out with, what I could show off as this is what I'm capable of. And I was like, there's not enough here that I could say that I've spent $60-some thousand.
Right.
Yeah.
In not that's total, and that's not grant or anything else. But that's all of my college experience to that point. And so I took a year off and rethought about everything, and then I went back to YSU, and I was able to I went to the computer department, the computer sciences division, and I said, can I still claim these courses that I had from high school?
Yeah.
And they said, if you want to take a minor or like a smaller certificate in computer sciences, then yes, you can. And so all you have to do.
They wouldn't let you apply towards a major?
I couldn't apply it towards a major, but I could, or if I wanted to, I could, but I would have to take a computer sciences major, but it had to be used in computer sciences.
Right.
So I couldn't just be like, I took these classes. And so I got the courses and stuff, and I finished everything out. So now this is my last semester at YSU, and finally everything's done after spending enough time in college to get 2 degrees.
Right. Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, like, can I say as a comment to this, I applaud you for having stopped, looked around, and went.
What's that sound?
And that was
There's a whole bunch of shit.
That was a big conversation I
going
had
down.
with my dad. Like, it was. Everybody, look what's going down.
Young people speaking their minds. Mostly say, get the fuck out of the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. It's a scam.
It is. And so me and my father had that talk like multiple times throughout my break, and he wasn't trying to like beat me into submission and going. He was just like, you need to make sure that when you stop, you're going to start back up, because 9 times out of 10 when people stop, they never come back.
Hey, that's me.
And I mean, that's not. It's for some people, but it was. I wanted to make sure that it was something that I didn't skip out on. Yeah. So, like, I had spent too much time and too much money to say, I'm out. And
I think you did the right thing.
You did the right thing.
You pursued the thing. You saw it for what it was, and you course corrected.
Right.
That's like a pretty healthy, rational thing to do.
Yeah.
You know.
it's not like really serious.
Well, no, that's all right. That happens on here. That happens.
Yeah, but what about farts?
What about
those
farts?
business insiders?
Let's get back to porno jokes.
Let me stay in the same vein here, because I didn't go back to school. I didn't. I started in a telecommunications degree, and I rapidly figured out that it wasn't for me. Number one, when I should have taken a year off of high school and worked, and then went to school.
You think so?
I had like 2
I was
months
not
before
ready.
I moved
I
to
was
Pittsburgh.
not
Like, I
ready.
graduated, and I had about 30 days before I had to be in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I did not. I didn't do that. Like, I didn't do what I should have. I did the same thing. I went right into it, and you remember when I was 18, I was high all the time.
Yes, I remember you. I guess, were you 18 when we met?
I'm 18. Yes, yeah, I was 18.
When we were working at the pizza shop together.
Yeah, I was
were
18
years old.
18 years old.
Yeah, no shit.
How about that shit? Yeah. I'm sorry. I was throwing a little Alice Cooper in there for you.
Yeah, you were definitely high all the time.
I was very high.
Yeah.
So was my friend Tommy. I hope he's not listening.
No, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't mind. What happened happened.
Yeah. So was the rest of that store, incidentally, all the time. That was a
not
shop.
high.
They don't own the store anymore, so I have the utmost confidence in saying that I sold my boss's drugs at Little Caesars. Yeah. That's not a joke.
No, we told that on this podcast.
Have I? Yeah. I sold them $80 worth of pretty good pot.
We've told that story on this podcast.
And I pinched some off the top as a finder's fee.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I misheard that. I thought you said that you took drugs from your boss and sold them. Like, you sold your boss's drugs.
No.
I was gonna say, well, what a fucking
that's
dickhead
a
thing
boss's
to do.
plural, not boss's possessive.
No.
Right.
I
sold drugs to your bosses.
They called me one day after I had already left work for some reason.
Right.
Some very important
I was
grammar.
gonna say, I didn't think you were that big of an asshole.
Yeah, no. I called them.
Grammar is important.
Grammar's
Let's
important.
eat grandma.
Right.
Let's eat grandma.
Right.
There's
The
two
Oxford
different
comma.
variants. That you-
But no, I
helped my Uncle Jack off a horse.
yeah. I think that would be
I actually never heard that one.
that would be more context and diction.
Yeah, the diction.
Diction.
Some good hard diction.
A big hot throbbing diction. But no, that was where. So that was where I was at. I was in a place in my life where I sold pot to my bosses.
Yeah.
That is not college material. That's not-
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure that was
right.
most of the people that I knew
Why
in
the
college.
fuck not?
I was
Yeah.
I did the I did the first part of it, and I got through like basically a year's worth of telecommunications, and I realized you're Morty.
This was a mistake.
I realized I was stoned all the time, and I was failing a lot of my classes.
You're dealing with Dr. Owens.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh God. Oh, sorry. Telecommunications thing. I remember Dr. Owens.
Professor.
Yeah.
That's all.
Wasn't Earnhardt in that department
Okay,
too?
so
Yeah, I like
Dr.
that.
Earnhardt, he's the head of the department.
I
Actually.
liked him a lot.
But Dr. Owens
Yeah,
is the highest
Dr.
paid.
Dale Earnhardt, professor of speed.
Yeah, Dr. Earnhardt. I did radio in college. He was
He said Dale Earnhardt, professor of speed.
Number 3 in the car, number 1 in my heart.
I love you, Dale.
Dr.
I love
Earnhardt was Dr. Earnhardt's in charge of Rookery Radio, so
Yes.
I worked
he
with
is.
him when I did
Dr.
that.
Earnhardt was good.
When they were starting that,
We
I was
also
around.
had to buy his fucking book to go
still-
do the communications course.
I'm still friends with him on Facebook. He's a cool dude.
I'm sorry to hear that. No, I'm joking.
No, it's all right.
Actually, he's a very nice guy.
I got through a year's worth of those classes, and I failed a lot because I was high all the time, and I was
Sure.
cutting class to get stoned.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do when you're 18.
But then later, now in your defense, later you cut class to go to the bar.
Yes, that's also true. But the difference herein lies the difference. My professors were okay with me cutting class to go to the bar because I had an English degree, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
So none of this matters." Actually, my 21st birthday, Drew. I was like, "No, Drew, I can't cut class. It was your dad's class." For poetry, she's like, I'm like, no, I can't cut class. He's like, no, let's go get day drunk, and I'm like, I can't.
This is a mistake.
And your dad,
my
her,
God.
for anybody who doesn't know, I think we brought it up before. Tyler, I guess you wouldn't know, but Ben's dad was is a professor at YSU.
Still is.
Still
And a
is.
very
Wow.
cool
And a
dude.
very, very good,
What
a very
does he
good
teach?
teacher and a really cool guy.
He teaches mostly
Literature, poetry.
some American lit, a lot of British lit,
A lot of Brit lit.
Never had
and
him. That's
poetry.
okay.
Dr. Reese.
You might see him around. He's got glasses, a ponytail, goatee.
Yeah.
He looks like what surfing was in the 70s. That's a good description.
Oh man!
To me, he
Steve
always
Reese.
looks like a New England fisherman.
Here's
That's pretty apt,
here's
too.
something fun. I
New England fisherman.
I showed him his own Rate My Professor page because
Did he get
wasn't
no
sure-
chili pepper?
He got more chili peppers than either of us was comfortable with.
Yeah.
But
That's
no,
great.
But
That's
no,
good.
one of the fun things was one of the reviews said he looks like a punk rocker mixed with a groovy hippie.
Yeah, which is true.
Yep.
Which is very true.
Yep.
He does. He's a wonderful person.
I don't
He's
know.
a great
It's like
guy.
it's
He's
like
awesome.
that's not the first thing I think of when I see.
Yeah. Right, because he's your dad.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
He's
You're-
the same guy that yelled at you for not cleaning up. Like,
Right.
It's not the same, you know.
Get your socks out of the bathroom.
Yeah. But he like I remember Drew was like, "No, you got to cut class," and then your dad was walking into the class that I was supposed to be in, and she's like, "Dr. Reese, I'm gonna take Chris Brady to the bar and we're gonna get drunk. It's his 21st birthday." And your dad went, "Oh yeah, go." So there's the difference in those degrees.
See, that's an occasion. Though,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
That's
go.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm going to take him to go and get drunk because it's Wednesday.
yeah.
Which is why I drink now.
Yeah, then he do that weird thing where like he's it's that dad thing. He's not mad at you. He's just disappointed.
Yeah. He does. I would imagine he does that better than any dad
otherwise
on the
he'd be like,
planet.
Disappointment
Okay.
is so much more
All right.
It
frightening
truly
than
is.
anger.
especially from my dad.
I would say your dad, I would imagine, does that better than
I remember,
any dad.
like, kind of, like, sort of related to this, like, on
Yeah.
a side note. I remember whenever, like, if someone said, "I'm really mad at you," that's like, oh wow, he's upset with me. That sucks.
Yeah.
But if they said, I'm disappointed in you, that's
Yeah.
a whole different
hurts,
ballgame.
yeah.
Of like, oh man, I gotta rethink my life.
Yeah.
Like, it's-
Right.
It fucks with your perception of like what your worth is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they clearly
they thought you were here.
better
You're
than this.
apparently here.
And the thing
now
is,
they've lowered your value.
but the thing is, they're right. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
To tell someone that you're
Because it's the
disappointed in them?
truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Number one, it's the truth.
Yeah.
And number two, it has so much more impact.
Yeah, because we all want to.
I'm gonna
be
tell
the
my
best
kids I'm disappointed in
version of
all their
ourselves.
shit whenever they're growing up.
My favorite, incidentally, my favorite story
Terry,
of
I
your
was
dad-
disappointed in you.
Hi, son. I just want to tell you I'm disappointed in you. Good night.
Happy Wednesday.
My favorite story with your dad was one of the Jenny premieres. I think it was the.
Oh, God.
I think it was the first one that I got to spearhead when I was somehow they put me in charge of the Jenny. It was the first one I got to spearhead at Dorian Books.
Yeah.
Your dad was everybody
This is you
incidentally.
and Corey as co-presidents.
Yes,
right?
as co-presidents. Yeah, me and Corey. And your dad, incidentally, if you've never been to a Jenny premiere event, I don't know how it is now, but it used to be the Student Literary Arts Association, SLAA, used to be affectionately referred to as the Student Literally Alcoholics Association.
I will tell you, in case you really want to know, I will tell you they are way less drunk now.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, they need to be more drunk.
But,
it's like the
but
Greek
how
life
good
of
is their
YSL.
writing? as a
Right,
result?
exactly. Right.
Well, the thing is,
No
that this-
Hemingways in that group.
still quite a bit of good writing.
Not as much fun.
Well, you know, I'm like an old fogey when I go
Yeah.
there now.
Yeah.
It's super
Sure.
weird to be like over 30.
Yeah, and then showing up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was we had the premiere at Dorian Books, and part of the thing with the SLAA was when we did a Jenny premiere, we did it right. We got boxes upon boxes of wine.
We did it
There was
right.
there was always
We had
beer.
alcohol everywhere.
Yeah, right. Well, we did. I mean, it was wine and beer, and everybody was by the end of the night. And then,
Where's
as
Dorian
if
Brooks at?
as if that wasn't enough.
Dorian Books is off basically.
Is it on Wick Avenue?
No, it's up. It's
How do you describe that
It's
location?
it's near Wick Park.
yeah.
No, it's the
Go up
the
the
bookstore that the two old guys run, and then there's like an old building above it that's apartments.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
They're
Yeah.
closing soon.
I think I
Yeah.
heard something about that.
They're turning it into like an advertisement area where they can sell the space to be able to
Yeah.
support.
I need some
a lot
people
of
who
things.
lived in that building.
yeah,
I almost moved
Matt-
there
Matt
when I
and
was
Grace,
looking
right?
for an apartment.
Matt and Grace were there,
Yeah.
and also
Really nice two old
some other
guys.
people too.
Oh, Jack and
Diane.
No,
Little Diddy.
Jack and was it Rod?
I can't remember.
I think his name was Rod.
They were very nice.
Rodney.
Jack and Rod.
I think
Jack and Rod.
Some real porno names, man.
was it Rod or Robert or what?
I
It was
can't
something
remember.
I don't know.
like that.
They were both very nice.
My name's Jack Stiffson, and
I mean,
This is my Rod.
what I remember of the denizens
this is Rod
of,
Ruler.
what I remember of the denizens of Dorian Books was that gigantic fat ass cat.
Yeah, the big cat. It was always there.
old thick cat.
That
that cat was there when I went to go look for an apartment.
Fit.
that had to be
How
the
could that
fattest
cat even fit into the box?
I've ever seen in my life.
cat.
It can't even go poop in the box.
fucking cat.
That cat is big as fuck.
It's a fat fucking
Hey, Dave, y'all see that cat over there in the corner?
But anyway, so we were at the Jenny premiere.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So anyway, we were at the Jenny premiere, but it's important to understand that not only did we have booze at the party, we would regularly schedule an after party at a bar downtown.
Yeah.
And the bars were very kind and would open up they would make special drinks for us.
That was where I had my first and only flaming shot.
Yeah, I mean,
shit.
we had
Please tell me, which bars did you go to?
Cedars and the Lemon Grove.
Okay,
The old Lemon Grove.
The old Lemon Grove, because Jacob Harver and Billy were always the ones that helped us out the most.
The one thing I was disappointed with was that O'Donnell's got rid of a couple different things recently.
Oh, really?
So
Do you have an
O'Donnell's-
equivalent of McDouble watch for O'Donnell's?
my apartment is just a few blocks from O'Donnell's. And,
really?
Yeah, I live right downtown. So the one thing I really loved was that one of the managers there, she was great. She knew everything that all the college kids would want, basically.
Yeah.
And they had this thing called the Box of Shame, which was no, really.
I'll take two.
This was it really was a great thing. So what you did was you were just like, hey, I need 2 boxes of shame or 4 boxes of shame. So what you did was they brought you over this Patron, this box of Patron, and there was nothing inside of it but receipts, and all the receipts were previously made shots. So you stuck your hand in and you got like Sex on the Beach or Four Horsemen. It was whatever you drew out of the fucking box.
That's great. That's a college town.
It was great. And whenever she left, they got rid of it.
Oh, that's sad.
And I was so mad that they got rid of it. And I was like, hey, I need $2 of shame. And he was like, we don't do that anymore.
You know
I
what?
was like, you fucking suck.
Shame on them.
It's forbidden now.
For taking in a college town.
If people keep ordering it and you don't do it, you're a fucking bad business person.
Yeah.
All right, let me get this story out here.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
We're at Dorian Books. We have shitloads of alcohol.
Everybody's pretty much loaded at this point, and then we were going to the bar to get more loaded. And incidentally, I think your dad came with us.
I believe he did.
He did, yeah. It was the night we went to Cedars.
Your class was over.
But we went. We were outside smoking, and I came back in, and your father had his shoe off, and he was trying to. He had a bottle of wine in the in the shoe, and he was trying to do the trick where you uncork the wine by smacking the shoe into the.
Yeah, you smack the shoe in the bottle of wine.
So he's not doing it on the ground. He's doing it on one of the bookshelves.
Like books are falling off the fucking
shelf. He's going. Boo. He's like, no, I saw this on the internet, and he's like bashing the shoe.
Boomers. What are you gonna do?
He's bashing the shoe, and the whole place is looking at him, and it's really fun. Like everybody thinks it's the best thing ever, including the owners. I think they're like, he's just knocking books down. And I remember I went back outside and I said, "Hey Ben, your dad is He's inside. He's trying to open a bottle of wine with his shoe." And you're like, oh god.
No, I thought it was inside at the time, and like I heard it.
Oh, did you come back over? I remember you coming in, and he had abandoned what he was doing, and he was then like, he was like, no, maybe I'm doing it wrong, and he was bashing the bottle with his shoe like this. And I remember this is the best father and son moment I've ever seen. You walked up to him and you went, Dad, what are you doing? You gotta put the bottle in the shoe.
Like, was he smacking it with the shoe? Like,
he started one way.
He started one way and then switched.
Well, it was the fact that he was doing it on a bookshelf. That's not a stable surface. He's got to do it against like a solid wall.
Right.
You got to take it outside and bang it on the outside of the pillow.
Right.
Like a normal person.
Right, like a normal person.
just bang it on the brick. Like,
Yeah. Oh God! But I remember that night. That was the night everybody was leaving for the bar and we were cleaning up. And I remember Chantel was walking out and we had 2 half-drank bottles of wine, Matthew Fox from Mark's, which was $3 a bottle. And I remember she walked out and
$3 a bottle.
It was that cheap.
I'm sure it would get you shit-faced.
Oh yeah, and it did. I grabbed her by one of her dress straps and turned her around, and I said, "Hey, help me drink this wine real fast." And she's like, "No, I gotta." All right, because we don't pour out booze.
I have never poured out a bottle of wine.
We
do not waste.
Oh, now on the topic of things you've tried and it worked for you. I have decided
eating the Jenny.
I have decided that straight tequila is not for me.
Oh, I love tequila. Nobody likes to drink tequila shots but me.
I'm cool with it.
I love tequila.
I will go shot for shot with someone.
Oh, I will too. I can drink a whole bottle.
Me and you are gonna get a bottle.
Margarita's fine, but like straight tequila.
Oh yeah,
It's rough.
No,
It's rough.
It is not.
whole bottle. I can do it.
1800. I got a whole
What was
unopened bottle.
the what's the one that is it I want to say it's Jose Cuervo and it's something like 1849. It's like a bluish bottle.
Oh yeah.
I once drank about 3/4 of one of those, and I have no idea what
Very
happened.
easy. Now this is a thing commonly with tequila and then Jim Beam. I've heard where people just have a hard time with it.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with Beam.
No, I can't drink the American whiskeys. I can't drink American whiskey. It will make me sick.
You know, let's go around the table.
not even Jack?
What's the alcohol you absolutely
That's
can't
right.
have?
Yeah, you
Least of all Jack Daniels. I think I've told that story on the
You
show.
don't want to
before.
open this can of worms?
Yeah, let's go around the table. What
I-
can you not drink anymore?
Patron. I can't do Patron. I'm sure Cuervo's good, but man, I've had too many bad experiences with Patron.
Yeah.
It's ain't for me.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you mine is Southern Comfort.
Oh, too sweet.
I once did a lot of a bottle of Southern Comfort,
that's
and
too sweet?
I can
Wait.
still taste it.
Just
I don't
wait
know
a
that I've
minute.
ever had. I don't know that I've ever had a bourbon I didn't like.
It was very.
You know what? The problem with Southern Comfort is it's too sweet and not strong enough.
Yeah.
There's not enough booze in it
don't know.
to balance it out.
I mean, I can see that, but at the same time,
It's
like
just a taste for me.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, I'm a bourbon guy, so I can drink, and usually straight up. This is a good example because this is basically different bourbon.
Templeton Rye.
This
the
is
good stuff.
very good whiskey. I'm gonna
well,
buy
well, it's
another
not, well, it's
bottle
not
of this.
bourbon, it's rye.
Rye and bourbon are in the same family. They're very close. They're very, very close.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't this a bourbon whiskey with rye?
Technically, it's just a rye whiskey, but rye in general tastes enough like bourbon that
Right.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this is very good. Actually, I'm gonna have another shot.
What about you, Tyler? What can't you drink?
God, the one thing that I will never drink it. So, does everybody at this table have that one bottle of like whatever it was liquor that you will look at and go, like the moment that you just made it might have like died from, or you just like that night.
Definitely.
The thing that I will not drink anymore, or can't drink anymore, is Di Serono.
Amaretto.
Wait. Now let me clarify what happened here. Like this is a good. Funny.
But I get it though.
When I was younger,
And much dumber.
yeah, much dumber.
Yeah.
My one friend had gotten a bottle of Di Serono and he had poured it into like this big fishbowl looking fucking thing, and he put ice in it and he poured some other stuff in it that I don't really recall what it was. And it was a great drink. Like he walked around, like I joined a fraternity and we were brothers in the fraternity, and he would walk around carrying this bowl at the party, and he would just be like, "Hey, you want some?" And everybody would just like drink from the fishbowl, and it was ridiculous. And then the next party that we had, I was like, I want to do that, and that was not a good decision because I didn't know what else he mixed into it, and so I just put Di Serono and ice.
Oh God, amaretto. Ugh.
So I had a huge chalice of Di Serono and nothing else.
I'm a grown up.
I drank
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I drank-
it's like those commercials. Di Serono on the rocks. Like
no
one gets that.
I'm gonna vomit.
You at least need some sour mix in there. What are you doing?
I drank an entire bottle almost by myself.
Oh God.
Like not like a little one. It was a 750.
Puked rainbows, I imagine.
And I remember
So you just faced a whole fifth of Di Serono.
decently, yeah. And I remember like making my rounds at the party. I don't remember what party it was, but I remember making my rounds at the party and then making it to the room that eventually became my room at the house. And I got up there and just went, and I just laid down on the floor and died until 11:30 in the morning. And I woke up and everyone had already gone and gotten breakfast.
Yep.
Everybody had already started functioning as human fucking beings.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
the first time that ever happened for me was at a party where I had slow gin.
Oh yeah.
And
Slow gin fizz is Trisha's favorite drink.
I don't know what that is.
the difference
it's
is
berry gin.
the difference is I would absolutely have slow gin again. I just wouldn't
Drink that much.
get so drunk that I wake up the next morning and be like,
Slow gin, SLOE. Slow gin, as in slow berries.
I was like, is this just gin you drink very slowly? Am I an idiot?
no, slow gin fizz with a little club soda and some lime.
Wait 15 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah. No, we were playing 3-man that night, and the punishment was drinking shots of slow gin.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I think it's good.
But
I wouldn't shoot it. Yeah. That's not a whiskey you shoot. Anything that's
I
not
mean, we were all in college at the time. We didn't really know. But,
anything that's not Jameson is something you shouldn't shoot.
Yeah, probably.
but oh heavens, peach schnapps was the other one I was thinking of. Because that one night I think I told you guys about where I had like an entire bottle of peach schnapps just like on its own, and a six of Guinness Stout, and threw up all over the wall.
Yes, and there was a horrible
spray.
streakiness down the wall.
Oh my god!
But now, like anytime I can do Guinness now. I can do Stout. I can whatever. But peach schnapps, I still can't do. I still cannot do.
Too sweet.
It's too sweet, but also it's just that distinct odor to it. You know,
I know what you mean.
I can't. I can't.
It just
do it.
reminds you of puke of distant past.
Well, that's the Jack Daniels thing. That was the first time I ever got really hammered. I drank. It was $7.50. It was a full fifth of Jack Daniels that was in my dad's liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
For years. And by the time my friends got there, I had 3/4 of the bottle gone. I mean, like, you know, when
Look,
you're
Dad, I need to apologize, but
yeah, like, you know, when you're young and you don't know how to drink, like, I was just, I didn't even, I got through the first 2 cocktails and I didn't even mix it with Coke anymore.
That explains a 6 of Guinness Stout and a bottle of peach
Right,
schnapps.
you just don't know what you're doing. Yeah.
You don't know what the hell you're doing.
And
I got
didn't
lectured
get
by a
sick.
friend about buying cheap vodka recently, and it was really frustrating. He was
yeah.
like, "Vorlov, really, Tyler?
Yeah, really
buying Vorlov?"
really,
and I was
Tyler.
like, I have no defense.
We
for
go
this.
Grey Goose in this house. Always.
So I want to be respectful of time because I know you have basically an hour and 10 minutes till you have to be at work.
Oh, okay. Well then,
I don't
It's
know if
flexible.
we should. I mean,
We
is
can
it flexible?
we can keep going.
You sure?
Yeah.
well then let's get back on topic a little bit. Maybe
All right,
stuff that
we
isn't
got
like
really far off topic. So
that happens.
maybe stuff that isn't like illicit materials related.
Stuff you can't.
I don't know.
Stuff you can't do anymore. And I don't want to do anymore.
I'm trying to think of a good example of.
I have a perfect one.
Oh, theater. I did theater twice in my life. Once in middle school, I want to say 5th grade, and then once in high school, which was my junior year. The first one was I can't, you know, I'm thinking about it. It was at Lord of Life Church on 46.
Lord of Life Church.
Is an awesome God he reigns
From dicks and butts.
Yeah, that.
and jails.
He did create dicks and also butts.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that weird?
But the
both.
no, it's that modernish looking church. Like if you're coming out of Canfield, going up 46
I know exactly
towards
which one you're
Shields.
talking about.
It's
Out of 40.
like you're going out of Canfield up 46 towards Shields. It's this church on your left. It's a real modern looking place.
I think I do know.
It's like right before the overpass.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was involved there in like a theater production.
Sorry to hear that.
The only that's the thing. It wasn't even like a religious thing. It was like Build Your Act. It was a program my school was doing called Build Your Act.
Okay.
And
I think you said Bill Dract, and I'm like,
Yeah,
who's
that's
he?
what I thought.
Bill
too. I was like,
Dract.
"Who's Bill Dract?"
The world famous Bill Dract.
Bill Clay,
Directed 4 plays in Youngstown.
the world famous Bill Clay.
No, that's not Bill Clay.
That's just some bear.
Shout out
the,
to Corey Suhar.
The only thing I remember about this performance, I'd be dicked if I could tell you what the fucking name of the play was. But what I remember was there was a musical thing, and this was what I was super proud of. There was like a little during the bridge. I was a baseball announcer. I was like, and here comes the windup and the
Browning first
and
base.
I you know, I'm sorry to use a baseball metaphor in a baseball story, but I knocked it out of the park.
Ooh, boy. What a humdinger.
So there was that.
Oh,
So there was that, but ultimately, I remember this was 5th grade, so I was like, what, like 8 or 9?
Oh my God, is that how young you are in 5th grade?
Right?
I heard Aubrey.
I hear 11. Do I hear
She says
12?
11.
Do I hear 12?
By the way,
no,
we-
because I was 13 in 8th grade.
Well, let's see. When
So,
I was
that
in,
would have been like 8. I would have been 8 at the time.
Well,
Yeah.
if you go back by half years, which is like
Or no.
September, like so, no, you would be about 10 or 11 years old in 5th grade.
Whoa.
doing dumb math.
This is a Boy Scout thing too, because I was in the Boy Scouts. So
Heavens.
on 5th grade, you would be between 10 or 11 years old, and one of the requirements that you would hit in Boy Scouts to be a scout, the first rank that you could achieve is have completed the 5th grade or 11 years old, and that was that was one of the things. That's how I know that almost every 5th grader is about 10 or 11 years old.
That gives you a good benchmark for the rest of your life.
Well then, just see, because my benchmark is 8th grade equals 13. But never mind that, because it makes it less humiliating to say that I was 8 when I cried my way out of rehearsal.
Oh no!
I hated that shit.
Oh no!
So then I wisely did it again in high school, but I had a better time that time. It was oh god, they wrote their own play. It wasn't a play that was like already established.
Right.
It was like one of those things.
We had a couple of those at Fitch.
We wrote Scarface with popcorn.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that? You guys not seen that?
No, I'm sorry. I just took that for what it was.
This whole
No, no.
town's a bucket just
So-
waiting to get stuffed.
You need to look it up on either Facebook or YouTube. But someone rewrote Scarface to be able to, like, it shows him with like a black suit and a white shirt, this toddler sitting in in front of a pile of popcorn, and
I take it back. I've seen that.
I know what you're talking about.
ridiculous.
I pictured
Oh my
Scarface
God.
where they're throwing popcorn instead of bullets. That's what I had in my head.
Right,
That's infinitely dumber.
It's way dumber.
but also more adorable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll give you credit for that. Your creativity is like an 8. Like, that's good.
But no. So this play we were in was about like struggles that the faculty imagined that high schoolers go through. And
Oh wait, the faculty wrote the play.
I believe so. It was like the faculty and some students, but it was,
I assume this was a mostly male faculty.
this. No, I mean, this was it was
It's
like
gonna be great.
it was really like the dumbest, most petty shit, and appropriately enough, it was the imaginatively titled Voices.
Oh, really?
So like the gimmick.
Voices of our school.
So like the gimmick was we were each playing like a character telling their own story within like a couple of minutes.
Little vignettes.
Yeah, vignettes.
vignettes. Yeah.
And we did. I felt like I did okay. We did the thing. We knocked it out. But ultimately, I look back on it and think like this was the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah.
If they,
they're not good, high school kids at anything.
No.
no, but the production itself was just really stupid.
Oh, you mean like the source material to begin with?
It was I mean, obviously you can't do too much that's shocking in a high school theater production, but like put me in on, give me like an extra part in, Les Mis or something. Every high school does Les Mis.
Yeah,
Les
why
Mis.
didn't we do Les Mis?
Why don't any high schools do the Big Lebowski?
God, I can't imagine why.
There's got to be a stage
not Mr.
adaptation of
The Big Lebowski.
right?
Forget about the fucking toe.
I'm just helping her conceive, man.
And I would be a great Walter.
I want to
incidentally.
hear a Pulp Fiction in high school. That's
Man, you gotta have an opinion.
It's not about the coffee. It's about the dead person in my garage.
Yeah. The dead.
Say
once
what
again,
again?
the
Dead African American.
the white version of that on the Three Dudes podcast.
Say what again?
I didn't filter it
I
all.
dare you. Say
I double dare you, motherfucker.
I double dog dare you. I double dog dare you.
double.
I dare you, you fool.
You mama hugger.
That is a tasty burger.
You monkey fricker.
Frick.
What does
Monkey fricker.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What does he look like?
Does he look like a female dog?
Does he look like a fool?
Then why are you trying to make love
Does he
to
look
him?
like a borscht?
Does he look like a nincompoop?
a borscht?
Then why are you trying to eat him like what?
Opening up the briefcase and just seeing that glow.
Just a nice purpley glow.
It's got a purple haze in front of you.
Are we good, Vincent?
Yeah, we good.
Oh yeah, we good.
Yeah, no, high school theater is never good. Never good.
No, and so after 2 experiences in my school days with theater, I eventually decided, you know what, I'm never doing this again, no matter who tries to convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
Which is fortunate because I'm not any good at it anyway, so no one's gonna try and convince me.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be like, "Hey, Busta, you would be the great new lead of this play."
Hey, Busta.
Basta.
What? Are you high? No, I'm not.
See, this reminds me when I was in high school. I was
hear my hair growing.
when I was in high school. I did the speech team. Did any of you guys do speech?
They wouldn't let me on the speech team.
I did. I almost threw a chair at a kid.
Shut up! Really? Did you actually almost throw a chair at someone?
To be fair, this dude was giving me.
Like how he defended. To be fair,
If he deserved it.
there was no yes or no's. To
So
be fair.
he wasn't even on the opposing team. He was in the spectator.
he was
in
a
the peanut.
heckler.
He was in the peanut gallery. Yeah, and he was giving me shit. He was heckling me the whole time.
Oh, fuck
so
yeah.
I just like grabbed my chair and jumped over the desk and was
I
about to
say
beat the shit out of him.
to him
No.
for heckling.
Wag of the finger.
I say
he was
no to him, sir.
He was a piece of shit.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna make a controversial statement. That was not very nice of him.
No, it was not.
I would say you are correct.
Did it merit jumping over the table and trying to beat him with a chair? Maybe not.
Probably not.
But you know.
I once threw a desk at someone in Catholic school.
I threw my crutches at somebody at one point, but that's a whole different story.
Same team here, buddy. Same team.
Yes, I never freaked out on anyone.
Yeah,
I really
you
kinda-
don't
it's
have
overdue.
autism. That's what that is. You don't have autism.
Mr. Autism.
I'm Mr. Autism.
Throw people.
Oh, that thing.
I'm Mr. Autism.
Aubrey's out there doing the Mr. Autism.
I knew she was doing it.
Yeah.
We have a guest in the audience.
Yeah, that's right. We actually have a guest.
This whole couple hours we've been sitting here, we have a guest, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Aubrey. Aubrey, give us your trademark catchphrase.
No one knows what's that.
Shit, I was about to say a Mr. Autism. I throw people at things, but I meant it the other way. I meant it the other way around. A Mr. Autism. I throw people at things.
I throw people at things.
That sounds better than the other way around. There.
Mr. Autism
Mr.
angry.
Autism. Get out of my room.
No, I was gonna say I did speech and I did horribly at humor, at entertaining people and making people laugh.
Which is really funny because you are one of the funniest people I know.
I don't know.
You're
about that,
legitimately one of the funniest
but
people I know.
I'll say this:
Morty.
we're a lot funnier in this room than I ever was in speech. I did a speech cutting called The Nerd, which is from a play, I guess, about a nerd. Right? That's the idea. Is like a funny nerd.
Right.
I don't know. When I think back on it, I want to crawl out of my fucking skin because there are things I tried to pantomime. One of the things I did was like pretending to dance in a circle, banging a tambourine, and I have to make the tambourine noises with my mouth. Which, spoiler alert, you can't.
Yeah, it's impossible. It just sounds like a hi-hat.
I'm going ding, ticka, ding, ticka, ding with my hand spinning in a circle. When I think about that, I want to fucking throw up.
Yeah. Didn't you told me one time
nauseating just
this is,
thinking
I'm gonna throw this out there and you tell me if you're comfortable with this or not. You told me one time that you, when you worked on the school newspaper, wrote an article in defense of George Bush.
Please do elaborate.
It was so bad. No, this is one of those things.
Like my speech about how Adolf Hitler was a great man.
Yeah, right. Bear with me. He's nowhere near as bad as whatever we're in for in 2016.
We've covered
actually-
this before. He's just a goof that you want to have a beer with.
Sure.
Real quick fun fact in relation to that.
Yeah.
I did write a speech
Now,
about
Dick
how
Cheney, on the
Hitler
other
was
hand.
an impressive
Carl
speaker.
Rose.
You
too.
wrote a speech in defense of Hitler's speaking.
Yes.
Oh,
It
he was a great speech.
No, it was-
Nobody can disagree with that.
It
He
was
an
in my
excellent
communications
speaker.
class, like not to take away from what you're about to explain.
No,
but
yeah.
in my
Same deal here.
communications class, they said, "Who is the best speaker that you could possibly think of?"
And you were like me
And I
in
was like-
school. You went, let's
I went-
make it
I went-
fucking...
Now I am not a Nazi, but
That's a good start.
yeah, I know. I was like, I know this. I even ended it with, I know this is not a great way to statement a speech, but this no, he like his he.
I did shit like that in school too.
Yeah, it wasn't even intentional. Like I need to be against the grain. It was just like, you know what? He did a great job
great
of
job.
converting thousands and millions of people.
He did a great job.
He did,
Quote, unquote.
Hitler did a great job.
in speaking.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Gold
Star. I had
Gold Star.
I had a government teacher in 9th grade. His name was Mr. Montgomery, and he was an ex-Marine Corps drill instructor. And he said the best speaker that has ever existed was Adolf Hitler, and he showed us several examples. He said seriously.
Sit down and watch the
No,
tape.
he said seriously. He said think about how passionate you have to be to commit people to do that.
Yeah.
And it's true. If you ever watched one of Hitler's speeches, it's incredible. He's a very, very, very good speaker.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, to expand upon that, like he was the greatest military speaker of probably recent times. However, he was also the dumbest military technician
horrible.
we have ever experienced. Because I was actually just recently watching this thing about
He let ego get in the way.
how dumb Hitler was as a leader.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, he did all these things great. However,
He fought wars on 3 fronts.
you can't.
not even just that. Like the STG 1944, the gun that
The one that I won is that's
he
downtown
told
right
me
now.
how much it was, and after I came back later that week, by the way,
How much? Because he said 6 to 8.
it made me cry a little bit in my pants. Like he just
I'm sorry, it made you cry in your pants?
he
Jizz
told us.
Insider exclusive.
I was because my friend who knows the owners, like her dad knows the owners, and she was like, "You need to go back and tell him that he sent you." I was like, "Hey, yeah, I wanted to tell you that he said hey," and he was like, "Oh yeah, how do you know him?" And we talked for a minute, and I was like, "How much do you want for that STG that you brought in?" Because he had a new in-box STG 1944 reproduction in the pine box,
Like in the fucking crate.
I'm an idiot. What is that?
and Sturmgewehr is it looks like a
gun.
AK-47 before AK-47
Right.
thing.
Okay.
And
with the old school sights,
like the iron sights.
Yeah, the old iron sights.
But
yeah.
this one was calibrated to 22 caliber as
Yeah.
opposed to the specific caliber that it had. Which
So
was
it just
very
hurts
unique.
really bad
Yeah.
when you get shot. It doesn't.
Right.
It just
It won't kill you, but it'll piss you off.
Damn it!
So he was like, you need to come back later this week because I just got it from a friend and he wants to sell it, so I'm going to buy it from him and then sell it to somebody else if you can wait. And I was like, that's fine. And the current value of the gun is selling for $600 to $700 on online. And it's not assembled. I have to assemble it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like in
still
pieces in the
never
box.
been fired. And I came back and he goes, I was like, hey, by the way, I don't see that STG out anywhere. Like, do you have it on display? Do you have it anywhere else here? And I thought he sold it. And he was like, no, the STG, like that's what you're talking about? He was like, give me a second. He pulled up the file for it and he goes, yeah, I'll take, if you can, I'll take $500 for it. Yeah, I was like, and they like so
you boys.
I'm not going to say the place because I don't want someone to go buy this goddamn gun out of me. But
It's currently available in Utica.
It is, yeah.
currently available in downtown Youngstown,
Utica, New York.
Utica, New York. And then this place, they're really nice. They're great guys. They do a great job, and they don't have like an interest in layaway. I'm not trying to like, oh, they're sponsoring this show. It's just that
No, but they are sponsoring the show. We should probably say
yeah,
that. They're sponsoring the show.
Mr. Lone. No, they
Mr. Loan, give me your money.
Mr. Lone,
they
here, have a gun.
they have AR-15s there that are full size. They have AR-15s that are like smaller. They have sawed-off shotgun, not sawed-off, but like because those are illegal.
Yeah.
But they have snub-nose shotguns. They have full size. They have bolt-action rifles. They have handguns. They have guitars. They have drum sets. They have TVs.
really
amps.
threw me
For
with that.
the soldiers of funk out there.
Yeah, power tools. Like they have everything that you could.
Do they
probably
sell a bop gun? Because I would be interested in one of those.
have a zip gun or bop gun?
I want to hit him with a bop gun, like George Clinton told me to.
No, we don't have those.
Oh, okay.
We don't have. Every time I go in, they're like, "Hey, Best Buy, what's going on, man?" Like, but anyways, they're really great there. But they have a ton of stuff that is constantly flowing in and out of like inventory. And I was like, "Can you like not sell that?" He was just like, "It's not on display, so the likelihood of someone coming in and asking for it slim." Right. And I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
very
moment
pretty.
that you hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
That was what happened whenever I
It shall be mine.
and they do layaway too, where it's non-interest. So as long as you're paying on it, they'll hold it until you're ready to.
I think we dove into this when I didn't want to last week.
Yeah.
About gun rights.
Yeah,
So
We kind of went all
way
around
off,
on
but
that
yeah,
one.
that is a very.
we're
pretty
skirting
gun.
the issue, and this is a beautiful gun.
It's
It's
very
Well, this
pretty.
is like an
It's
issue
very
of
pretty.
like historical significance.
Yeah,
rather
it's-
than,
it's a reproduction. It's not exactly
Sure.
the exact gun,
Right.
But
But it's also not just a gun. It's
yeah.
it's a fantastic thing by itself.
yeah. So bottom line, the Nazis were great.
bottom line.
No,
I'm writing that down.
what of the
It was right.
I got that right there. This is
ow, fucker.
I believe Aubrey just came in to give it a little
our
pinch.
audience just came in and assaulted one of the.
A little love.
That's how we do that.
so-
here on
so,
the
uh,
3D cast.
I was gonna mention, like, we mentioned how Hitler was like a really shitty commander.
He was horrible.
No, but that was actually
Great mustache,
one of the
though.
reasons why I brought that up, because
mustache.
he refused to accept the SDG was the prolific gun that was going to help them, and so he thought that they could do it with the Kar 98, which is a bolt action rifle. And
a good
Yeah,
bolt action.
it was.
The
It was a
carbiner was
great-
really good.
Well, the MP44, right, was the other
Yes,
one. The where you
the
grip the
MP40,
magazine.
Yeah.
MP40.
That's the
MP40,
one that goes
yeah.
rat-a-tat,
But
right?
the
40,
Sturmgewehr
right.
gave you
Yes.
the capacity to be able to fire really long range automatically without having to worry about recoil. It didn't recoil at all. That was their big thing about it. And so he was like, we don't need this. We'll be fine with the stuff we have. And he kept cutting off production of it. So they kept renaming it different guns down the line. The generals were like, fuck you, man. We know what we're doing. And they just
Right.
kept, that's how it became. It was the Sturmgewehr, and then it became the Sturmgewehr 44, and then it became the MP44. And then
MP40, right.
the MP40 was the rounded top one.
Right.
But
Right, that's the one I'm
the-
thinking of.
Why do I
that-
feel like he's the military equivalent of people who just pass their debt back and forth between credit cards?
That's true.
It's
I
just-
mean,
it's
you're not
very-
wrong.
I mean, think about the weapons that the Nazis had, like the Hitler's buzzsaw.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we are. No, we are. Well, think about it.
Think
like
about the weapons the Nazis had.
Think about it.
Chris.
Nazis.
the
about
MG42.
it.
What did the MG42 put out? It was like an enormous amount of rounds a minute.
The MG42 put out about 200 to 300 rounds per every 30 seconds. or
Yeah,
something like that.
they
was
said
ridiculous.
they called it Hitler's buzzsaw because it could
would just
collapse
mow down
tree
trees.
lines.
Yeah.
It
I
chop
mean,
you
it's
in half.
insane. Like MG42 for listeners at home, if you ever watch Saving Private Ryan, that's the gun they have on the beach where they're shooting down
Yeah.
at the Americans.
Like
Yeah,
it was,
it's
they would feed belts into the gun. Like it was not
now,
slow.
and then the Americans duplicated it, not as good.
Yeah.
With the MG, help me.
MG15.
Yeah,
I wanna say.
the-
that was a similar one. But
Yeah, it just it didn't fire as fast.
You just
but it
feed
only
metal
took one
into it.
person to man. So
You
yeah,
feed metal in, and death comes out the other end.
Oh,
much.
it was like metal here, death here. Like that was pretty much the schematic of the gun. Like that was,
Interesting thing about Omaha, German intelligence
Beach.
had a lot of reason to believe that that's where the Allies were going to land. That's where they were going
stinks.
to make their main push. But
I love how this turned into a historical session.
This is cool.
I knew it was going to happen.
This is cool.
they wanted to mobilize some panzer divisions to reinforce the beachhead. But there were specific panzer divisions that only Hitler himself could authorize, and Hitler at the time was fucking asleep.
Yeah, they were afraid to wake him up during D-Day. And
Right.
there is in Poland, it is the largest known still active cannon in military access. And
Is that one that's on treads that you can like?
no,
move
you can't
around?
move it. It's built into a mountainside.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
huge, and I don't remember the name of it. Or
I don't know what you're
I'm
doing.
sorry. I'm using old military. So I'm
trying
going
to sign shit
I'm going.
to me.
I'm going. Tiger tanks, 2 of them. Panzer tanks, 2 of them. Infantry, 50 plus.
No idea.
I'm sorry.
More or
I
less.
did not know sign language, but
Yeah, sorry.
they had this up in Poland because he was thoroughly convinced that the Allied forces were going to try and land in Poland as opposed to
Right.
or not Poland, but it was up north, and
Partially because of
facing
Operation
Britain.
Mincemeat, correct?
Right, Operation Mincemeat, man. Read the man who never was.
There is a great movie in there somewhere starring Seth Rogen.
Man whose body
starring Simon
Sorry,
Pegg.
it's
oh,
like
yeah.
the interview.
The protagonist starts off dead, and then the rest of the movie takes off from there.
It's called a frame story.
Awkward silence here on the three dude. Is it time?
I'm over here giving the signal
Yeah,
because it's 8:15. We ought to probably move on.
yeah, we gotta-
let's close this bad boy up.
All right. Yeah,
I
let's.
think may as well.
Oh God, closing thoughts. Oh boy.
Yeah, boy. Did
I
you?
wrote down so many.
Wait, we got to take a
We
break.
have
here.
another segment yet because we have to
Okay.
talk about Ben.
Oh God.
Recommendations.
Yes, we
are
do.
coming up next.
And yeah,
And that.
that show.
And the rest
Woo!
of the show.
Drink another beer, Chris. Woo!
All right.
Not like you have bills.
And when we come back, recommendations here on the Three Dudes Show. Stick the fuck around.
All right.
Give us a few seconds here.
Hi, my name is Tyler Hawkins, and this is my voice demo.
Oh, you kids these days, you have no respect. The elders are to go first.
Hey, this is my demo reel.
Actually, I thought I was going to do the intro.
Oh, but we've already started.
Wait a minute, how many different voices are in here?
Y'all a little slow on that there pickup, ain't you? I'm gonna let this here movie guy explain everything.
In the world's smallest audio booth stood one man. His name was Ty.
Wait, okay. Who are you, and where did you guys come from?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
What plan?
Oh, we lots the mic we do. Oh, it's ours now. Oh,
Remove this boy from my presence.
yeah, kick him out. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Hey, what are you doing? No, get away from me. Get away from me. No, hey, you can't do this. Hey, no.
Thanks for listening. Tyler Hawkins.
Welcome back to the Three Dudes Podcast.
Eh, bienvenue.
Yeah.
We're just about to wrap this episode up. This has been a great night. I want to thank our guest Tyler again for
Thanks for coming on, man.
The inimitable Tyler Hawkins.
I'm so excited.
Wait, I'm going to censor that out. I'm going to censor your
just,
name out
you
of
just
this.
said the last name, even though we just. Oh.
I just put a marker in the episode so I can remember to cut that out.
All right. We gave up on that a long time.
No, but your name is in the demo reel that we just played seconds ago.
It's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, what I was saying. That's exactly what happened halfway through the YouTube show. We were just like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah, no one's listening anyway.
No one's
Does it
listening.
matter?
It doesn't matter. Even if
Are we
they
going to
did.
address that? The fact that it's included in the episode?
Yeah, it is in the it's in the
I didn't know
they've
if you were
already
going to
heard,
say something about
do you
it.
want it in
they
the
just
episode?
heard it. They just heard it, so now they know.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Do you want it in the episode?
Yeah. No, it's not that I was against it. I just didn't know if we're going to be like, hey, yeah, by the way, in a couple seconds here.
Yeah, let's talk about. Well, yeah, just so they know what they just heard.
We can
was your
record
demo
that separately.
reel.
Yeah, they heard Tyler's demo reel.
Yeah, which is pretty fucking
cool.
rad.
This
We
is
listened
the
to it a
thing
couple
we
times.
can talk about
This
in
is
post-production.
the story of a girl.
It's the story of Tyler.
Anyways,
So anyway, we'll end this episode as usual with
as
our
we often do,
as we often do. Yes, with
as
our
we always do.
with our recommendations.
Yes.
Starting with moi.
Oh.
I have two recommendations. My first recommendation is go on YouTube and look up some street fights, but not just any street fights. I recommended this on Sunday. Look up the worst street fights you can.
Yeah. Oh god, it's so much fun.
Look up some street fights where it's two people who absolutely do set out at the beginning to kick each other's asses, but neither of them have any idea what on God's green earth they're doing.
It's so much fun. Yeah,
It's when people just go like this.
Jinx, you owe me Coke,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, or they'll like be bouncing up and down on the balls of their feet, like, you know.
I got you. I'm gonna fuck you up.
The best
Where's
is
my
when
Coke?
the best is when it's obvious that they're trying something that they saw in an MMA fight
I
one
saw
time.
him do this in Mortal Kombat. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, they saw like one guy do like a spinning heel kick in UFC, and they try to do it in real life and it doesn't work. It's fantastic. It is
it's so much fun.
Shut up, Bo.
It is the height of incompetence. You know,
Not you, Bo, listening, but Bo, Bo the dog.
Yeah, but Bo, if you are listening, shut up. You're listening.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You're listening. So
Don't
shut
wreck your
up.
goddamn car.
But we love you,
love you.
baby.
Thank
but
you.
We
Thank you.
love you, baby. But shut the fuck up. You're listening to a podcast.
but yeah,
Why are you talking to us?
bad street fights. If you just type in worst street fight, there'll be like 1,000 videos that come up,
And they're all
saying-
good.
saying
all
you know,
great.
worst street fight ever.
Yeah.
The hyperbole.
Which one really is the worst?
We will have to have a
Lesson
competition,
number
obviously.
433: don't keep your hands in front of your jaw.
Fisticuffs.
My personal opinion is that the worst street fight I've ever seen is one if you type in "say goodnight" fight.
Okay.
It's two rich suburban white kids fighting because one of them allegedly stole the other's bong.
I was
that's a really
expecting
good start.
I was really expecting Pokemon card in there. Like I didn't think that
right.
bong was gonna be a thing.
That was my.
To be fair, bongs are
gold-plated
really
Charizard.
expensive.
Well, when I say kids, like
My
17,
fucking
18,
Blastoise, you dick.
they could possibly be as old as 20. I don't know. But they're the worst fighters I've ever seen. This thing has become internet legend. It's called the Say Goodnight fight because at one point
Someone says "say goodnight."
yes, yeah, the skinny ginger has the fat kid pinned down on the ground, and he raises his fist up and goes "say goodnight," and then delivers this limp-wristed fucking just right to the side right to the side of his face.
If you're gonna say something as cool as "say goodnight" before you throw a punch, you gotta
deliver.
fucking deliver. You gotta deliver that shit.
I will tell you,
Do it right.
my I think the weakest street fight I've ever seen last year's Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
No one punched
No
anyone.
one. In
Not
fact,
one punch.
one of them shit.
Someone shit.
The puppies of the Puppy Bowl are are a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, they
For sure.
didn't hit each other at all.
There was no bait dog at all.
No, being in a fight, there are things that you like. People just don't seem to understand.
Sure.
And like in general.
I love how they never know how to use their body to make a punch.
Let me just throw myself at you like Gumby.
Yeah.
It's all just hammer, fist.
Yeah. Use your weak hand to defend and your strong hand to attack.
throw.
And you got to
Right,
use the leg. You got to torque the body. You're trying to push
You pivot.
into it with your leg.
As someone with Golden Gloves experience, I
Never-
can tell you, you
never-
pivot off your front toe.
Never ever cross your legs.
No.
No,
Never
God.
cross step. That'll throw. That'll.
What are you trying to be, Zhang Pivot here? Like what the fuck? Are you?
When you throw a jab, you push off of that front toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protect your face, protect your organs, and protect your knuckers.
Always
Right.
protect your knuckers.
You're not
Yeah.
That's
right.
the three dudes.
Don't even worry about your face. The knuckers, man.
Cover up your gentleman's sausage.
We here at Three Dudes always promise to protect our gentleman's sausage and knuckers. And so should
the
you.
knuckers,
Yeah.
man. They're important.
Yeah. And probably the most important rule of fighting, you cannot be afraid of getting hit.
Right.
Don't just fucking
Yeah.
go like this.
If you're going to get in a fight, acknowledge that you're
fucking fight.
probably
For
going to
those
get
of you who
hit.
can't see what we're talking about, it's when you stick your head as far away from the hand movement as you can.
don't
and
hit
just
me.
slap
Yeah.
each other.
Think
Yeah, if-
zombies with more slapping.
if you're going to get involved in a fight, you're gonna get hit eventually. Don't
Yeah.
push
Accept
out
it.
on that.
Just
Fucking
accept it.
Actually, the first time I ever knocked Tommy out during one of those Fight Club things, he was fighting like that, like he was stepping back, like he didn't try and go in for the move, and he kept doing this, like he kept backing up when I went to throw,
Yeah.
and he ducked. I was trying to hit him in the chest, and I ended up catching him right in the face, and I knocked him out cold. I torqued. I hit this right hook that looked like it came from Ricky Hatton. Boom, and I feel like he ducked down to go for it, and I blowed him right in the face.
if you're trying to
blowed
protect
him?
your
I blowed him.
You blowed him? How hard did you blow him?
I blowed him hard enough that he
When you blowed him, what face was he making?
made the I just jiznessed inside her face.
Like like in a real fight though, like is whenever.
Go on. I'm still thinking about his blowed him face. or-
God, I was thinking about the blown face. So
Incidentally, it's
there
this.
have been two like major fights that I was involved in. Both of them was when I was an active fraternity member, and one of them wasn't really a fight because it was more like five guys beating the fuck out of one person.
So you're
that
describing a
didn't-
butchering.
that didn't want to listen to what everyone else was explaining to him.
Right.
And so the one person was just like, no, man, fuck you guys. And we're like, okay, fine. Like, you want to go with this? Let's go. All right.
Okay, so it was his fault.
Yeah, it was totally his fault. But the first one, though, it was more so myself and another person. And
Sorry.
but like the things I realized is like you can't just throw, like, it's not like the movies describe it where it's just like throw a punch, hit him in the jug. Like, it just, you can't do that. Like, people grapple and they throw each other to the ground. And that's pretty much what happens. And you can't expect to be able to get like that haymaker punch with the first 2 knuckles to be able to clear your opponent. You might get that once in the beginning, and then that's going to be it. Because when you close the distance to your opponent, that's it.
He's going to grab you by the head. He's going to pull your hair, kick your nuggets, and spit on you.
We turned to a bunch of women. Not to offend
ladies.
No, I mean, like the running joke is that like women just grab each other's hair and just pull each other to the ground. Like that's what happens when guys fight.
I say, speaking from experience, women can throw punches too. So, as
a man who has been thoroughly abused by women,
women can throw. And in many cases, it's been taught by men, so it's just our fault.
Women in physical... I've seen
shoot,
it.
You dumbass.
I've seen it. Women in physical fights are absolutely fucking ruthless.
Yes.
They don't have the compunctions that men have. They'll just go for whatever's available.
Incidentally, that's the way you win a fight.
Right.
Like that's how you win.
Well, and again, I think that's what men do. They try and grab you by the hair and go for your privates.
Right.
There's some pretense of honor in like men fighting each other.
Yeah.
But in a street fight, anything goes, and you gotta be ready for it.
Yeah.
My other recommendation.
So moving forward.
My other recommendation is Fear. First Encounter Assault Recon.
Oh, that game,
Be afraid.
PC game
I have a problem with that
came out in what, 2004?
2004 to 2005.
I actually think, Ben,
I have a problem with that game.
Why's that?
Because they ruined your extreme experiences by putting an autosave right before everything happens. So if you pay attention, autosave. Oh shit, it's about to go down. Like that's how you know.
Oh, no kidding.
So like and it would just say it in the corner, autosave. Like it would you would see the circle.
Saving checkpoint.
It would don't put it on my goddamn screen if you're gonna scare the crap out of me. Like make me experience it, and then like look, you got jump back to this point because you fucked it up.
Steam community, if you're listening, make a mod, disable that fucking HUD overlay.
It may have already happened.
It ain't gonna make a difference because F5 quick save, so I can just do that every 10 steps if I want to.
True.
F5.
But no, Fear. I love Fear because it was a perfect game for its time and place. You know, you hit a button and you go into slow-mo and you got like bullet time shit.
And it also followed a bunch of so the first great bullet time, Max Payne, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then also a much less awesome version that followed in the Matrix game. I think it was Revolutions, the game.
Yeah. Enter the Matrix.
Enter the Matrix. It was called.
Okay.
That game was also kind of awesome.
Yeah, but I feel like Max Payne nailed it.
Could have been perfect.
Max Payne
This is a
better.
dangerous area because I could spend easily 45 minutes talking about Enter the Matrix alone because there's actually a whole bunch of things like from the game developer standpoint. Enter the Matrix fucked up. And
Sure. The movie tie-ins are always dangerous.
Well, not even just movie tie-ins. I mean, there's like game developer standpoints that were supposed to be like they were intending to do this, but they ended up doing this because these things. Yeah, time constraints. Right.
Well,
financially,
time constraints because movie tie-in. They got to release it alongside the movie, or else it's not. You know,
But Fear is an incredible game, and it nails that mechanic perfectly. It's so good.
It
was great.
It's really fun.
It was one of the earlier mass-produced, intense experience first-person games that were out there, like in the early 2000s.
Sure. Yeah, it was really good.
Sure, it included such wonderful details as dynamic volumetric lighting. You know, if like a fluorescent light breaks off its mounting, the light will follow.
Yes.
You know, dynamic lighting and shadows.
Really cool melee attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when you threw a grenade at somebody, they exploded into a meat barrage.
Frag grenades exploded on contact, which means that.
Thank you, developer team, for turning them into a meat cube.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody squeezed a sponge.
It just went everywhere.
It did what Half-Life did, but so much better.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Half-Life.
That's a good way of putting it. It really, again, was the perfect game for its time and place. I remember the first time I tried to run it on a PC, it took pretty much all of that PC's processing power to do. And now I'm playing through it again, and it's like
whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
It's like Crysis 2 on PC.
Right. But yeah, it's still to this day I love it. It's just,
Yeah.
if you ever want to run around as like a super reflexes special forces guy who knows kung fu and fires guns, fear is the game for you.
Can I tell you one thing I really like about that game?
Yes.
I really like the fact that, okay, so again, a similar thread with Half-Life, where you're in the middle of a very large complex of things, and you always feel like you're kind of escaping, but not quite. But the thing that they did that Half-Life didn't do nearly enough of was put you in places where you can see the sky. Like, you could go over a wall and get the fuck out of here, maybe, but you can't. Like, it's toyed with you in a way.
It's
open and claustrophobic.
It's your duty, man. You gotta finish the fucking mission.
Yeah.
And because you've got these super reflexes and a particle cannon in one hand and a nail gun in the other, you can fucking do it.
Yeah.
You're the U.S. Special Forces biggest paranormal hunting badass, and you're gonna do it.
Yeah, that game was great, and it did genuinely scare the piss out of me.
First encounter action response or something like that. Was
First encounter assault recon.
Assault recon. That's what it was.
Yeah, super good. It's on Steam.
I still freak out when I think about that one early game scene where you're going up the elevator
You're going down the ladder and
You're going down one?
You're going down into the sewers and you turn around and she's right there.
I remember going up a ladder and she's already in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. You go down a ladder and like the
As
way
you're turning around.
the animation, turns your character around and she's right at the top, and then you go down and turn to the left and Paxton Fettel's right there, like coming towards you.
Yeah.
So
Holy fuck, this is not cool.
Hits you with the double whammy.
I actually threw my controller over my head the first time I played that when I was like 15.
Yeah.
I went,
Great game.
"Wah!" And I like tossed it over my head because it scared me.
You may have recommended this before, but I as far as I'm concerned, you could do it 1,000 times.
It's a great game.
One of the strongest things for me about the game is its environments. It doesn't put you in dilapidated Victorian houses. It doesn't put you in ancient tombs. It puts you in very familiar settings,
modern settings.
like urban industrial areas,
Industrial,
office building. Yeah, the office building takes up like 2/3 of the game.
Yeah. Again, very Half-Life like. There's quite a bit of it that's just sort of like a bureaucratic maze of offices.
Right.
Modern futuristic, basically.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Modern Family.
Yeah, it's like
It's a modern family, guys.
basically the Modern Family of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, those are my recommendations. Chris?
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a choice because I'm running out of albums on the backlog.
Oh boy.
Do you want to hear a 90s live ska album? Or do you want to hear a 90s hip-hop album that came from the same place that Nos came from?
I know what you're gonna say.
Live ska.
I have a similar recommendation.
That's what you're gonna say.
I'm really curious about the live ska.
What do you think? I'll leave it to you guys. What are you thinking? I'll be a tiebreaker.
I'm gonna say 90s ska album because I have something similar to recommend as well. That You were there when I purchased it, actually.
Okay.
All right, I think that decides it, right?
All right, shall we?
90s live ska albums.
All right,
So one of my favorite bands is ska, incidentally, like especially the third wave of ska, which was like the 90s era, Goldfinger, you know what I mean? The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, that kind of era. That is something that you're supposed to grow out of, and I never did.
And you're getting closer to 30,
right? Well, here's the thing.
Not important.
Here's the thing. It's music. And the album I'm going to recommend is going to demonstrate that. It's music, and the bands especially are bands that have extreme cult followings because it's a genre that you just don't hear on mainstream radio anymore.
Is it the ICP?
No.
Is it the Boss Tones?
They have
The alrighty Boss Tones.
they have a cult following.
All right.
But no, it's a genre of music that you just don't hear on the radio anymore. So these bands collect cult followings, and people will pay good money to see them. And ultimately, the shows aren't crazy expensive, so you can go see a really good concert with musicians who are incredibly tight because ska music is very difficult to achieve live.
Sure.
For a reasonable price, and they'll play for like 2.5 hours. So the album I want to recommend is a live album, and it's by Real Big Fish, which is like the kind of like the right by like the band that was like the most breakthrough ska at the time. I've seen Real Big Fish about 6 or 7 times at this point, and I've never felt like I overpaid for a concert. They were just, you could go see a Real Big Fish show with like 4 other bands on the card for like $35, and they just kill it every single time they do it. So the album is called "Our Live Album is Better Than Your Live Album."
That's great.
And it's a double live record. First of all, those guys, if you want to hear a band that is fucking tight together, like you listen to the album and you're like, there's no way that they didn't go back into the studio and reproduce this. No, they didn't, because I've seen them live several times and they sound that good live. They sound better live than they do on the record. They're one of those rare bands that is tighter in person than they are on the live album.
Yeah.
And it's just all the stuff that goes along with that, because it's ska is basically like happy punk rock. That's what ska music is.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So-
that's a good description, actually.
So it's just these guys joking around on stage with a horn section and playing like happy Jamaican punk rock.
Yeah, right.
So it's I can't even tell you highlight tracks, because like I'm a Real Big Fish fan, so I know all the words to all the songs.
Would you say you're a real Big Fish fan?
Would you say you're a big fan of
They
Fish?
reel them in.
Because I've been to see Fish. Are you a real big Fish fan?
A
I
real?
am. I like Trey.
Would you say you're a real big Fish fan?
I am. I'm a huge Real Big.
you say
I
you're
know how
real
to
big?
I know how to skank, and I will proudly do it for anybody who asks. But yeah, the album's called "Our Live Album is Better Than Your Live Album." There's some really cool ska punk 80s covers on there, which is like a staple of ska music, where they do just crazy 80s covers, and a lot of really great original songs. I'm going to name some song titles. Your Guts, and then in parentheses, I Hate 'Em. Beer.
Your Guts. I hate them.
I hate 'em.
Oh, I love beer.
Yeah, Beer.
a great song.
She has a girlfriend now. It's cool. It's a band. There's so few bands now where the whole goal is to go out and have fun and dance.
Yeah.
and that's
Everybody's just to make money at this point. A lot of them.
yeah, right. Well, that's the thing is this is a band. Real Big Fish has been around. This is going to sound really horrible, for like 30 years. So they're a fucking working. They're a working band. They've been around for a long time, and they tour to kind of like live.
Wow.
Aaron Barrett, incidentally, is an incredible guitar player, and the rest of the band is super tight, and they sound great live, and they don't charge people a lot of money to go to their shows.
That's a big deal.
That's a big
That's a
deal.
Fugazi move.
That is a Fugazi move.
Shit.
But yeah, no, our live album is better than your live album. I guarantee you will enjoy it. You will laugh. It's a lot of fun. And if you get a chance to see them, go see them live. Everybody should go see a Real Big Fish concert live. Actually, one of the first dates Trisha and I had was at a Real Big Fish concert. So
Yeah?
yeah, it's really cool. Check that one out. Enjoy
That's
it.
awesome.
All right. David, your recommendations.
I have a recommendation.
Those first 6 days after Friday are the hardest.
So I want to recommend a show that I think a lot of people watch, but quite a few people couldn't get into, and I'm here to say it's really good.
Hugh Hefner's Bunny House.
Real stepwives of whatever.
of
Albuquerque.
your mom's butt.
Isn't that it? Real Housewives of your mom's butt.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
A show we have yet to make, but certainly will.
We will. A Roger,
Roger
Sick Bastard.
production.
I want to recommend. I don't know if you guys ever watched it. Lost.
Oh no!
I
never watched it.
I watched half of the first episode.
I've watched all of it.
I loved Lost. I wasn't that big a fan of the ending.
I'm sorry.
I loved Lost. Here's the thing. It's like 6 seasons long. It's a huge investment, and it probably doesn't get that good until the end of the first season.
I mean, we're watching through all 11 seasons of The Office. So I mean,
Right, exactly.
6 seasons of Lost.
You're into a big investment.
The Office evolves a very suspenseful storyline until the last season, and
Yeah.
they like a lot of shows will. And to add on what you're about to explain, probably a lot of shows that you watch on television will leave you like, oh, like I kind of want to know more about this character.
Sure.
No, like Lost explains everything you want to know about John Locke, about Jack Shepherd, about
Yeah.
Kate, about everything.
Yeah.
And those characters, to the point to where you're done with everything in the show, it's like, their storyline has either been completed seasons ago, or you already know more than what you want to know about their anus hairs, and they are done. Like that is it. Like
yeah, I'll say this: the reason I think it's still compelling, and I'm rewatching it right now, and
I've rewatched it a couple times too.
Yeah, like this is my second viewing, so I'll probably do it again some point long in the future. But I basically made it again through like the first 4 seasons. I will say, while there's a lot of the show I don't care about now, when I first watched it, I found all of it super compelling. The gist of the show, for anyone who doesn't know what it is that people crash. Yeah, right. Like if you haven't heard about it yet,
You live under a rock.
yeah. Do you live on a desert island?
I'm from Ukraine. I've never heard of this show.
You ever seen a grown man naked, Timmy?
It's that. It's the story of that guy from Airplane.
You ever been to a Turkish prison?
Listen, Morty.
The idea is they crash on an island, their plane has crashed, and they have to basically survive. But it's much more complicated than just a weird desert, just a remote desert island.
Yeah.
It's a weird island, and they start to discover that there's maybe a monster that lives there.
Yeah, right out of the gate, strange shit starts happening.
There's not fully. There's polar bears on the island, which eventually gets some explanation. There's a mysterious hatch at the end of the first season. I won't spoil anything, but there's a mysterious hatch in the ground.
Like a bunker.
Yeah, like that they want to open up, and eventually they do and find whatever
a lot
is inside.
more than what you would think is inside that hatch.
It's a show that goes from just being a sort of a character study to being science fiction to being philosophy.
A lot of philosophy. Yeah.
Lots of philosophy.
Having been directed, like not directed, but produced by J.J. Abrams, he really had a big hand in. That was one of his deciding moments. Was Lost as a producer and as someone who's part of film and television in general. Like that was how he got a lot of his directing roles. As part of Lost.
I think Lost is. It's not a perfect show.
No, it is not.
It was on the air for a really long time, and a big chunk of the 4th season was stripped away because of the writers' strike, which happened in 2006 or maybe earlier?
2006 or 7, one of the two.
Yeah,
because that's when the Heroes season 2 happened.
Right. A lot of shows got kind of gutted by the writers' strike.
I can be your hero, baby. Sorry.
I will say this about Lost.
Beer, Chris.
I will say this about Lost.
A bear.
It's where it pays off. It pays off bigger than most shows.
Sure.
The moments that you're really excited or surprised or confused, and some of this is now lost with binge viewing because we used to have to wait a whole week, so people would.
It's not the same. It's not entirely the same experience. Also, my grandma watched an episode with us, and she's 86 years old, and she was probably in her 70s at the time when we watched the show, and she was just like, they're 60s or whatever. She was just like, it just seems like no one knows what's going on. Like, they're all. It was like none of us, like all of us, had to contain our laughter. But
well, she's right because that's exactly it. It's a whole bunch of people going, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Basically.
But I will say where it pays off very big. When we didn't have binge viewing access, there were message boards full of people churning out theories, people talking every week. It was one of those shows.
When seasons ended, those things were cranking.
Yeah, like people were churning out theories and getting excited, and there were even alternate reality games around it. So there was a website for the airline in the show, a fake website for a fake airline.
Oceanic, like
you could go in and solve some mystery there. Like a lot of that is lost now. I know. But
That's funny.
highly recommend this show.
Funny to me.
It's a big investment. It's very weird. And even on a second viewing, I'm still excited. So watch Lost if you have, I don't know, months worth of free time.
Oh, God. No, there were honestly a lot of things in there, too. Like the show, the characters. Now, in a lot of shows, you could easily say this about different characters. It's just like, oh, you grow to love them, and then you grow to hate them, and then if you watched it in the original broadcast format, you grew with these characters. Like John Locke, you like learn to like he was a weirdo, and then you learn to like him, and then you slowly got to know him, and then you realize he's a fucking nut job, and then like you slowly evolve with that character. And now if you just binge watch it, it's like, oh,
it's
okay,
hard now.
he's planning on that. Like he's the that you can see these things now. But like I get what you mean.
I gotta say, great show. Maybe it suffers from the fact that you don't have to sit with an episode for a whole week.
Yeah,
sure.
But it's a really great journey to go on.
The backstory is incredible on some of those things.
I'll give it a go.
There's still a Wikipedia a wiki page dedicated to
to
figuring out what the timelines of the show are. And I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it.
I almost want to have a talk with you about this.
Yeah, I know. We should talk about it sometime because there's a lot to digest there. So watch Lost.
Yay!
All right, Tyler.
All right.
Recommendations.
So I have 2 recommendations. One is a music album similar to like how Brady explains it, but I'm not really going to give you a choice. And so
the illusion of choice.
I was told that I liked when we went to Geo's downtown. The music
go
store.
to Geo's.
Amazing. Sponsored. No,
Sponsored by Geo's. Thanks, Geo.
Good friend
Thanks,
of my
George.
company.
So we went down there, and he was like, "What kind of music are you into?" Because I'm still new to the collecting records experience, and I said, "I'm a really big fan of Daft Punk and like electronic stuff." So he said, "You need to go get Mantronics." Now, I had never listened to Mantronics. I didn't know what they were, and he recommended a handful of different things. So I bought 2 albums of Mantronics, brought them home, and listened to them. And if you like Daft Punk or Linkin Park or NWA or any of those,
Those are 3 very different acts.
no, but hear me out. They really like it's. Think the best explanation is I can think of NWA mixed with Daft Punk.
That sounds awesome.
It is great. It's really cool. They're very 80s style rap, but like a lot of like synth style like music. Mantronics, Mantroniix, and it's a great experience. They have some. I bought 2 albums. I don't know how many they have, but they're a really good band.
Nice.
That would be what I'd recommend. Now, my second recommendation.
My second recommendation. And my 4th phenomenon.
Yeah. So, my second recommendation is for people who have not experienced like the. I'm a big fan of what if stuff, like what if this happened, or what if like we didn't do this. Yeah. So there's a show that I actually stumbled across. I really didn't know anything about it. And it's called The Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
Yes, I've watched it all.
Yep. So thank you.
Yes, it's fucking great.
So
super good.
Those of you who are listening that have not seen The Man in the High Castle, it's a book written by Philip K. Dick in the 1960s.
Yes.
And
what a great Dick.
I have yet to read the whole book. I've read the first section of it, but the book itself or the show is adapted from it, and what that is, it's streaming on Amazon right now. If you have access to it, I really strongly recommend it. I didn't have access to Amazon, so I may have also like had access to it somewhere else. But anyways, so the internet's not a thing, and so anyways, this show takes place in the 1962, starting anyway in the later season.
1962. The year that the television was invented.
The year of white bread and butts.
Yes, and anyways, and racism, and so this show takes place in 1962. Like in the theory that we didn't take part in World War II, we avoided everything that we could from it, and in that response, Germany didn't end up fighting a 2 or 3 war front. They ended up wiping out Russia, taking it over. They kept Europe for themselves. They took over Britain, and they ended up boarding Europe, kind of like how D-Day was for us. But they boarded Virginia Beach? I think they used the reference as.
Is that where they?
I think they say this. Okay. I watch my friends' brains get blown out in Virginia Beach. Is what they said.
Right.
But they talk about how Nazis just stormed the Eastern Front and Japan stormed the Western Front. So Japan owns the West Coast up to Colorado or so, and the Nazis owned the East Coast up to whatever point it was, and there's this median zone where it's like the 42nd parallel basically, and
I can't remember what they call it, but it's
the
like
lawless zone basically is what they.
Like that.
It's like a Wild West where there's no real structure to it, and it's like wow, America was without solid structure, and but anyways,
neutral zone of something.
Yeah, a neutral zone of them, and so there's multiple characters that they focus on, and you get to see fashion differences. If you pay attention, there's a lot of different music. There's self-recorded music for the show, and they made sure that everything was authentic as possible, using influencers from from Germany, from Japan. If they came into San Francisco, what it would look like. And there are it starts out as like this sort of fiction-y standpoint, but it very quickly moves into science fiction, and I don't want to give away too much of the show.
Right.
But in the very first few minutes of the episode, one of the girls comes into contact with her sister, and she becomes the safeguarder of a film reel, and she watches the film reel, and it shows our version of what happened during World War II.
Where the Allies
where the Allies won, and our soldiers are walking through Times Square after World War II is over, and it shows the treaty being signed on one of the battleships for Japan, and they're sitting there discussing, like, how did this happen? What occurred to cause this?
Because to them, that never happened.
Yeah, that never happened.
Right.
It never occurred, and there are 2 seasons now, and the 3rd season should be coming out in April or May, and it's evolved into so much more, and it's a great show, very suspenseful. It slowly builds the intensity of it, and if it's not one of those things like you got to stick through it through the first season, man. It's one of those things from like episode 1 you should be interested, and if you're not, give up.
Exactly. If you're not hooked by the end of the first episode, it's not going to be.
And these episodes are about 50 to 60 minutes apiece. There's 10 episodes per season, and that's consistent. They haven't changed it.
Available in 4K too.
Yes, available in 4K, and they or 1080, and they've really done a great job following through. They've made minor changes to the book because in the original story, it wasn't film reels, it was journals. So this is a more of a visual standpoint, and it's a phenomenal story that I can't recommend to anybody, like enough to anyone. And
you're talking to 3 Philip K. Dick fans at this table.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
I mean,
I didn't know that. So
forever.
Fucking Blade Runner.
Massive Blade Runner fan right here.
Do androids dream of
Can't
electric
get
sheep?
enough dick. I say it all the time.
Can't get enough dick.
All I want is more dick.
I just want to get pounded by dick.
I'm telling people all the time, where's more dick? I can't get enough of it in me.
Do androids fantasize about electric sheep when they jack it?
will I dream, Dave? Will I dream?
What's that fucking movie with Keanu Reeves?
It was a Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly. That movie.
That's a rabbit hole. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I watched the movie first, and then I read the story.
I should have read the story first.
Yeah, I should have read the story. That movie blew my mind out of my asshole. It's really weird.
I will say, I think Lost and Man in the High Castle actually have a lot of very similar elements. I think they're enjoyable for similar reasons. Is that they bait you in with this very sort of normal scenario, or like a very
an understandable experience.
Yeah, like a very real world plausible story, and they edge in these science fiction-y elements where you go.
They don't dump you into the deep end. They slowly push you into the deep end.
It's kind of like
They
The
make you
Wind in
ask
the
questions.
Willows. You mean you got like a talking frog?
I mean,
Right.
sure.
Right.
Stay with me. The Wind in the Willows.
I'm with you. Go on.
I don't remember anything else about The Wind in the Willows.
I knew you didn't. I knew you didn't.
Talking frog?
It's got like a talking frog, and
There's a pond
he
and-
says stuff.
And
Oh,
so on
Mr.
and so
Frog.
forth.
Oh.
You know, whatever else.
Oh, Mr.
So-
Frog, I couldn't possibly look at you naked.
So,
Wow. All right. It's time to wrap up.
What have we learned? I, for one, have learned that Gorbs are people with rights.
I wrote down so much stuff.
What'd you got? Give us one.
I wrote down Sigmund Freud's penis.
With its own mustache.
I wrote
and
down
cancer.
I wrote down Jizness Insider.
Yes.
I wrote down you got to call it Toots, call a cab, and leave.
And I wrote down Grady. Brady Grapples Boys.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I wrote
I do.
Herman Mermen Serperverse is gonna get a fern curl.
I wrote, I'm calling your Fermen, Herman Mermen. Go home to your Werman.
I wrote down that if Snoop Dogg can't be king of Liechtenstein, he should at least be king of California. I know they don't have a king, but they should make that.
I also
position.
had the Student Alcohol Association, the SAA.
Yeah, the Student Literally Alcoholic Association. Yeah.
I wrote Atticus Finch smokes blunts and then also aborts babies.
I wrote Ben just reads Business Insider for the article.
I wrote
what I do.
I wrote that in wrestling, if you die in the match, you die for real.
I wrote the Art Institute.
How does it make it real? Your mind makes it.
I wrote the Art Institute is
mind
largely
makes it
soulless and devoid of real art.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
I just put down robots are assholes. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but that's what I put down.
That's true. Yeah.
There's
I wrote
also
what you got?
can't get enough dick in me.
Can't get enough dick.
Also, can't get enough dick in me.
I have, does he look like a borscht?
Yeah, I wrote Marcellus Wallace looks like a borscht. I wrote a fishbowl of Di Serono might be one of Dante's circles of hell.
for sure though. I put
That's
down,
a Dante circle. Oh God.
Yeah.
I put down if you're not a Golden Glove, you can at least be Tinfoil Glove.
That's right. I have
Lowest level.
I have one more thing on here. I took this picture that was a condom with pubes, and I drew Dave. I turned it into Dave, so I just wrote, "Hi, I'm Dave, and I like raspberry pie. Check out my pussy and also my balls." Isn't that weird? I have them both. Inside jokes. Inside jokes.
Oh my god.
I also wrote, "Also, I have a condom hat." So yeah, there's a
Condom hat.
hey. There's a little Dave here.
Even the blonde guy's impressed at
Yep.
the artwork.
That's all I've got.
Yep.
I'm done.
good.
That's it.
All right.
That's it. What, is it really?
That's it.
That's it.
Even the audience is asking.
That's it. That's it. That is taken off like wildfire.
Now this.
I mean, it's like a
If the
brush fire.
viewers continue this will be amazing.
That's it.
Yes. Spread this. Let's make this the new hot meme of March 2018.
Spicy.
But that's the episode, folks. Hope you enjoyed.
Woo!
If you didn't enjoy it, then fuck you. Get some fucking taste.
Yeah, you animals.
And also, Bo,
Plebeians.
Bo, if you're out there still talking, shut up. We're still talking here. You
Yeah,
should be
what the
listening
fuck,
to the
Bo?
podcast.
Bo, shut the fuck up.
We love you, but if you're listening to it, just
Drive your
listen to it.
goddamn
Yeah,
car.
go home.
Tune
What are you
in.
doing? Go home.
Tune in next time.
I like how we berate one person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dave will be hosting.
Yes, that's right.
that's correct. And we'll see you next time. Same dude place, same dude channel, same dude time.
Yes, sir.
Same dude dongers.
It was good to be here, guys.
Thank you for
Thank you
being
for
our
coming
guest.
on.
Thank you, of course, so
really-
much,
I really
Tyler, for
enjoyed
coming
it.
on.
Really enjoyed it.
It's a wonderful experience. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.